How you doing out there, real Fanny? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hopefully there's good mods coming. Oh yeah, I mean we got a bunch of updates today, so a bunch of stuff we got to talk about here on the show. Pippa, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi to BDD and Will. We've got Ken. How's it going, Ken? Hope you're having a great one as well. Says what up, people? How's your back today, Will T?
Oh, it's going all right. It's going. It's better. It's better than what it was yesterday. I'll get into that here in a little bit later. All right, you can hear me, right?
I sure can.
All right, we are live. We are live. Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WTG here. How is everyone doing today? Oh man, do we have a bunch to talk about today? Oof.
Oh yeah.
And I deeply apologize, and I posted it in my page and someone else's page as well. I'm part of. There we got 57 updates today. I was not gonna go through and edit all of them, so I just posted it. We got 57 updates today because I would have spent like 2.5 hours doing that. So, I do want to start out by saying we are not going to go over all these updates. There's only a couple of them that I want to go over just briefly. But other than that, we're not going to go through every single one. Now, starting with the new mods, then yeah. Now, to answer the question, how's my back today? My back is better. I was streaming yesterday, and I I literally could not sit in the chair I'm sitting in right now for very long because my back was just killing me too much. I did
Oh
some
wow.
I did something to it yesterday. It hurt so bad. I mean, I told everyone I was gonna stream, so I got on stream for at least an hour, and then I just couldn't do it no more. My back was just killing me. That was even after taking the ibuprofen.
Wow. Holy smokes. Well, I told you not to go diving off, you know, high places,
Darn
but you knew better, apparently.
I couldn't help myself. No, I'm just kidding. Since we got a lot to talk about, I'm gonna jump right in. The very first update that came out today, I want to talk about is the Lizard 4420. The Lizard 4420 and then 2 slash 5557 by Actually, I do want to talk about this one briefly because this one changed out 1.1.0.0. New sounds were added, and then two new versions were added. So originally it came with the truck itself with like the fifth wheel, and it came with this one. It's the third picture in, but it came with the one tipper bed. But now, in the fourth picture going through, it came with a different bed. I use this a lot in FS19 and a lot in 22 as well for doing silage work. And they also added a log trailer as well. So, not log trailer, log like a log configuration. So I'm very excited for that. And I already know what you're gonna say. It is 80.38 megabytes to download though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot.
The truck sounds phenomenal though. Oh, I'm gonna say that right now. Whew. So, the next one I want to go over is Speed of Light by Yos. Zero
Yes.
0.44 megabytes to download. To see a change a lot. 1.0.1.0 added faster chainsaws.
So, I this one I'm going to comment on because this I love this mod. I absolutely love it. And I'm actually going to kick us out of this real quick. So, I actually recently invested in the chainsaw. So, this particular chainsaw looks just like the normal one. So, what I love about this as opposed to the flashlight is the flashlight is bright yellow, it stands out and it lets everybody know, "Hey, I've got something that's not normal." This, on the other hand, it just looks like a normal chainsaw. But you take off running, ooh, it goes screaming across the map. I love it. Look at that. That's nuts.
Yeah, so I saw that. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go over this one at least. Let's see here. For the next one, this is gonna be the American Midwest Maintenance Shop. This is by ICUS. A 14.16 megabytes to download. I want to go over this because it's very, very good. It's going to be changed log 1.0.0.1. Added autoload for bales, pallets, and big bags on loft. So that's the inside, which is fantastic. So like the part you couldn't really get to except for going up the stairs. He changed that now into an autoload.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so it's the fourth picture, and yeah, the one you're on right there. I'm looking at your video. Yeah, that's an auto load now. So, new doors, as you can see, refreshed textures, added new decors, decoration, fixed collisions, which is nice because I had that problem. Fixed snow mask, work table in gray color only, whatever that is. New posters, choice of flags, non-American or Canadian. Love it. New sounds of opening doors. Now, I did not test that big door in the front, so because I know in 22 it was like it made like a hydraulic sound. So then
Mm-hmm.
the last one is new night lighting. So that was a fantastic update. That's why I wanted to go over that.
Oh yeah, I mean just that upper storage by itself is pretty fantastic, but then you throw in all the extra stuff and oh yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Right now that has a 4.9 by 367. Well worth it. That should be a 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is going to be the multi-grain production by Biggins. This is 17.68 megabytes to download. This is going to be changelog 1.0.0.3. This is updated mod description. Updated new product palettes for autoload. Made fill planes and selling points permanent for more realism. And remove the grain gate on some sell point. So I thought that was pretty good for that one.
I don't know why, but the username Biggins, I just get a chuckle out of it every time.
It's actually funny because the next one's going to be the multi dairy production by Biggins, which we're going to talk about this one later. Actually, it's not going to pop up later because it got as an update today. Vision's better. What up? So we'll talk about this one now because I know it's not going to pop up later because it popped up today as an update. But so this is the multi dairy production. This is by Biggins. This is 7.79 megabytes to download. The changelog is 1.0.0.1. Added autoload ability to pallets and adjusted description. I absolutely love this because you can actually make chocolate milk, go like stuff like that. You can go inside. It's just like his other one.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Did you have anything to say about this one? Because this one was a new one that just came out this week. So
So I always like that, modders when they bring out something that's actually very like unique and new to the game itself. You mentioned the chocolate milk and all that stuff, the buffalo milk and so on and so forth. I like it. I think it has a nice looking model, and you can see it does a ton of different stuff in there. So it's not only adding new product, it's actually just a wholly and unique, uh, kind of building. I like it. Definitely download.
yeah, because you can do butter, cheese, chocolate. See, buffalo milk. There's that's chocolate buffalo milk, chocolate goat milk, chocolate milk. There's even dark chocolate. So a whole bunch of goodies on that one. The next one is going to be American Midwest Cold Storage. This is also by ICUS. This is 11.60 megabytes to download. You have changelog 1.0.0.1. New textures, new doors, new sounds, corrected collisions, and added solar panels with income. I absolutely love this building, and it looks fantastic with the solar panels up top.
Yeah, I mean, Ica has been making some great stuff here lately, and this is no exception.
Oh yeah. Now the last update that came out today I want to talk about is the multi-fruit farm storage by Antix. This is this is only 2.88 megabytes to download, so super small, and it's gonna be
Somehow.
right. It's gonna be changelog 1.0.0.2. Uh, one of spawn area increased to unload cotton bales, and bigger trigger, a bigger loading trigger to be able load all machinery.
I am still blown away in how this isn't a much bigger download size. It's a highly detailed, a large storage area. I mean, just everything about it just screams details. Um, yeah, this is a great mod, and it's actually one I literally before we started this stream just installed onto my kind of you know play around map.
Oh, oh yeah. All right. Well, we're moving out of the updates from today. So, I mean, all the rest of them were basically just updating it to the newest patch and just fixing up a couple minor little things on them. So, nothing really major there. But starting for the new mods as of for today, or as of this week, we're going to start out with Four Fields by Omatana. This does have a 4.5 star rating by 217 people. It is 235.80 megabytes to download. I personally am not a big fan. That's just me.
So I'm right there with you. If I remember right, I gave it kind of like a middle of the pack, kind of like three and a half rating, if I remember correctly. The fields are absolutely massive on this map. I mean, it's four fields and it's a normal size map. So, y'all do the math. It's going to take up a lot of space. But all that being said and done, it's just one of those where I don't know, it's lacking something. And I think it's the combination of it being so flat and so kind of I don't want to
Plain.
say lacking in detail, but I mean, it's got as much detail as you can possibly have for the style at which it has. Does that make sense?
See, for me, I don't like how everything is on the border.
Yeah.
So that's just me personally. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do like the sheep area because you can see like the sheep actually climbing on the rocks, and you see, and there's one area where they go to the cow farm, you can actually see like the water buffalo walking through the water. Like, don't get me wrong,
Hmm.
it has its good touches, but I personally think if you absolutely love the DLC that just came out, which we will be talking about, this is definitely gonna be for you. But if you want something that's a little bit more detail, kind of like Alma, Missouri when it comes out or something like that, you're not gonna like this map.
Yeah, and that's it. If you like big, flat, open areas, then this is going to be the map for you. I mean, it's definitely going to have its fans, and I don't blame them whatsoever. It's I love Omatana and her mods. Her mods are fantastic. This one just kind of misses the mark for me.
I mean, it is doing pretty good. I mean, it has a 4.5 star rating by 217 people. Maps get
Oh,
maps get. I mean, no, not saying it myself for other people, but to me personally, maps seem to get harshed, get rated very harshly, and having a 4.5 is pretty good though. You know,
yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. Like I fully accept that I'm in the minority on this. I have no doubts
oh, yeah,
that I am one of the few people, with you that's like, yeah, this one just isn't for me. But it's just one of those where at the end of the day, it's just like I said, not for me.
yeah, 100%. So here, moving on to the next one. Next one is gonna be the Lizard Colossus pack. This is by Chris S and Riley S. This already yeah, this already has a 4.9 star rating by 336. I don't usually read those off, but that really got me. This is 132.26 megabytes to download. Massive. I mean,
Criminal.
You get a bunch of stuff though with this. I mean, me personally, I have it installed on my PC, but not on my Xbox. I'm just not a big fan. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're streaming. They're very very nice, and I absolutely love how they took like the base game sugar beet harvester, made it so you be able to do sugar beet, potatoes, and all the root crops, including like carrots and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is you can also do spinach, peas, and green beans as well. And then with a forage harvester, you can do cotton. So, I mean, it does have
So
its perks.
so this one breaks all my pre-established rules. For those who follow this show and know what I tend to harp on as a as a console player is the size, the file sizes. I tend to always go on, oh, it's a 132.26 blah 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 blah. No, this one is worth every single byte of space in my opinion. I adore this mod and these models. And here's the reason why. As a content creator, there are times where I have to take liberties as to how to proceed with the let's plays. And I want to be able to do certain things, but I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours to do them.
Right.
So I might take, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes and do the thing, but then in the background, set it up to where I can just zip through it, fast forward in time, and not spend my entire day working on one field or my entire day working on one specific task. I'm able to do it and move on. And these are absolutely fantastic. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this and go back to here, and I'm going to show off all the different stuff. So I know I always harp on, oh, well, it's so huge, it's 132 meg. It comes with so much, though. This one is just night and day, blows out everything else out of the water. Let's see, where is the Lizard Colossus? Why am I not? There it is. All right, so first off, comes with the root harvester. So that right there, $353,000 for the root harvester. You can customize it, do all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. You can have a normal header for it, and that's it. It's just a header for your sugar beets. You can have a unrealistic header. Now, what's awesome about this is you can do your standard working width, or you can do 10 meters unrealistic, 20 meters unrealistic, 50 meters unrealistic. And it puts up these little guide bars to tell you how far out that header is expected to harvest. One thing too is the harvester here has a standard capacity, a 250,000 liter capacity, 500,000, 1 million, 2.5 million. And I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So if you're going at 50 meters and 5 million liter capacity, oh, it's worth it all night and day. But then you also get potatoes, real and unrealistic. You get all the other crops, the carrots, parsnips, red beets. You've got the peas, spinach, and green beans, real and unrealistic, the header trailer. And then you get the actual regular grain harvester here as well. And again, you get the standard, the 2X, the 250,000, the 500,000, 1 mil, 2.5, and then back again. I mean, it's one of those you can really rip through a bunch of stuff here. And then you get the normal header, you get a unrealistic header, which again will change your working width to 25 to 50 meters. And then you get a even more unrealistic one where it's a, rice header. It's the rice header. And then you get the corn and sunflower headers. You get the forage harvesters, which again, like Will was saying earlier, you can put cotton through this. I mean, that's incredible. That's absolutely insane to me, being able to run cotton through this. So you don't have to make bales. You can do it all loose, and you throw it into a trailer, and you're good to go. And then you get, poplar headers. You get you get sugarcane headers. You get mowers. You can have a mower, a realistic one and a unrealistic one, for up to, again, 50 meters wide. So you can make one pass and get 50 meters. You get a baler. You get a baler wrapper, and this thing wraps like nobody's business. I actually tested this out just to kind of play around with it to see, and just, and then it's done. It just slams it down on the ground. You're good to go. And you got to be careful with it, because I accidentally bumped into one. And for those again who follow the channel knows that if you bump into the next bale as you're wrapping the previous bale, it kind of sends it, flying across the map. Well, imagine this thing going at Mach 1000, and then all of a sudden it sits there and hits another bale. Yeah, needless to say, I couldn't find where the bale went, nor could I find where my tractor went. I had to restart the game.
It's in Mars.
But it's got, I'm pretty sure it's either on Mars, Venus. I mean, it might even be on Pluto by now. Who knows?
Saturn.
Yes, I mean, who knows? It's the first harvester, or it's the first bale wrapper in space. It's just 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 off there, and it's zooming past the International Space Station, the whole 9 yards. We got a trailer here, just a normal trailer. We got kind of the root cart trailer, but it takes all the various stuff that you can input and output. And then you've got the forage harvesters, which again, you can have the realistic capacity or the unrealistic capacities, unrealistic pickup widths. I mean, the whole 9 yards. This is an amazing pack. It comes with tons of stuff, and it is worth every single bite of space, in my opinion. So absolutely, all day, all night, download this one. It's worth it for me.
Now, I do want to touch base a couple of things. So the rice header is for your normal rice, not your long grain rice. So it's like your patty rice. Also, the one thing I didn't check though is now for that for the Amedity auger trailer that came with it, that space game, the one I really like a lot. I know the base game doesn't do it, but I didn't check for this one to see if that flap in the front folds down or folds inwards.
Which trailer was it?
So, yeah, so if you go back in there and then you go all the way down the bottom, it's going to be the second one over.
Oh, the root cart?
Yeah, so if you click on that though and it loads in, it's going to be like the little flap in the front.
Okay.
I mean, because I know the base game it doesn't do anything, but I wasn't sure because there's hydraulics on it. Because in real life you can lower that flap so a forage harvester can shoot chaff into there. So I'm watching your stream. It's on mute right now, but I have it in the background. So yeah, I just don't know if they did anything with that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it'll take all the various products. So yeah, it looks like chaff's in there, so you should be able to shoot right into it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
but it's the flap in the front, so I don't know because you know how like some trailers like have like
oh, I see what you're saying. This little like I see the hydraulic rams right there. Let me
yeah
change the color so it's a little easier to see. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's those little hydraulic rams. Yeah, looks like you might be able to lower them. I don't know if it does that or if it's just based on the base game model and
yeah I
they
don't
didn't
know.
change it.
Yeah, that's one thing I gotta look into is that. So yeah, so I mean overall, I mean if you really like that mod pack, go for it. It is here. It is out now. I know DJ was losing his mind, and so was Mr. CDP. So
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those where if you're just wanting to get the job done real quick, you're not that concerned about realism or anything like that, then it's a great model. It's a great mod because it's going to get the job done. It's going to get it done quick. Especially if you're somebody who's not a huge fan of root crop harvesting like myself. It goes so slow that I almost never do it because of how long it takes, especially the new root crops like the carrots, parsnips, and red beets.
right.
Like using the base game equipment is, I'm pretty sure I'd rather be dragged through a field of cactus than to have to deal with those. Like it's that rough sometimes. You're sitting there, and even with the big, harvester, like the four billet harvester, I mean, even that is a nightmare because you got to run right alongside of it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those that maybe one of these days when we get some different mods, more realistic mods that will harvest a larger billet and have a storage capacity, then
Right.
sure, I'd be okay with that. But
Right.
until that day, it's going to be one of those. I'll use that mod all day, all night when it comes to root crops.
I gotcha. I hear you.
Especially if you're on like a map like me with Calmsden.
Hmm.
Calmsden is a perfect example because you got some really massive fields, and if you got a massive field coupled with the root crops,
Hmm.
oh my goodness, like just put me out to pasture.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Drive Laner. This is by ITS. This is 243.32 megabytes to download. Now, for this, it basically takes all the base game seeders and planners, and basically it just you're able to attach this certain little rivet in the back that makes what's that word I'm thinking of?
Drive lanes.
Yeah, drive lanes. So, I mean, to me, it's not worth it, but someone it is.
So this one I'm kind of a mixed bag on. I like it for the realism because if you're one of those kind of players who really likes to play with realism in mind, then this is a mod for you. The reason being is what this is doing is making the lanes available for like sprayers and stuff like that. You're supposed to be able to, create these roads uh, when the field is too large, and you're supposed to be able to then take it and make paths for your vehicles to be able to come by and be able to do stuff like I said, like a sprayer, like a um
Weird.
like yeah, like a weeder or something like that, so you're not crushing the crops underneath, kind of thing. You're not wasting seeds to put them down on the place where you're just going to go ahead and drive anyways. So for a realistic standpoint, it's really nice. I like that. But for 243 megabytes to install, absolutely not. I would never in a million years, want to install this for that size. Especially because this is all the base game models and stuff. So I don't know what is taking up that file size.
I don't know either, man. I don't know, man. I personally avoided that, like, like white on rice. Real quick, Jonah, what's going on, man? Says, hey, yo, Benji. Where was it? Oh, it disappeared. I think it was Ken who said it. If you want to catch up with your chat, he said something pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Benji. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says good evening, everyone. Good evening, Benji. Ken says Benji. Also says at least it's not 1.3. LOL. No, that one right there, that cedar, or that whole drive lane thing. I will say that's 1.3. I
No,
will absolutely say I understand
that
what
was
they're
for
going for
classes.
with it, with the realism, but I just that's just ridiculous to me. I cannot fathom where the file size is coming from. Now look, here's the thing is I'm wholly ignorant when it comes to the mods and stuff like that. So I'm not sitting here trying to throw shade whatsoever. But what was it again? It was 100 and some odd megabytes.
It was 243 point something.
200. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is a perfect example. The Lizard Colossus 132, and look what it does. I'm sorry, there is no justifying for me with the size of this file at all.
BDD.
I understand where it's coming from, and I'm just kind of ranting at this point. 1.3. 1.3.
BDD.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that 1.3 was going for the Colossus Harvester's pack.
No. No. I understand that's what he was getting at, but no. I would. Here's the thing, Ken. I would, if it was 1.3, I would still install it. I would still install it. I'm that serious. I'm 100% for real on that one. That's how
1.3.
much I like that. Now that's with a caveat though. If we get that one mod, the blue harvester that kind of did the same thing as the Colossus, where you got the pretty much the same features, just cheaper and like cheaper to buy, cheaper to have on your maps and all that stuff. If that comes out and is half as good as it was previously, then I might be singing a different tune. I might be like, okay, 132 megabytes to install might be a little bit too rich for my blood, and I'll just stick with the other one that's smaller size and cheaper to buy in game.
Right.
But for right now, because it's the only thing we have that does this, not 1.3, not 1.3. Drive laner 1.3.
Yeah.
All right, now going back to the chat, there we got. Let's see. Benji says, "Hey Ken." Benji also says, "I gave a 5-star for 4 fields. That's my opinion." Hey, and like I said, I am more than happy to be in the minority on this one. It's just not one that speaks to me.
Right.
But if it speaks to you, hey, I'm happy for you. I'm genuinely happy for you because it's just one of those where you know it might not speak to me, but it's going to speak to many others, as you have proven. So, yeah, 100%. Cole Farms, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hello, hello. Benji says hello, Cole. Cole says hello. Chris S, how's it going? Chris, hope you're having a fantastic day. Says good evening. Glad to see we're enjoying the pack. Oh, more than enjoying the pack, Chris. Thank you for stopping by here tonight. Yeah, absolutely love it. The reaction to the rappers have been the best. Oh my goodness, those rappers are insane, Chris. Insane. Like I don't know if you were here when I was telling the story. I was just testing it here on Zaylonkin. I was wrapping a couple of bales, and I got hung up, as I tend to do, on the bales because I just go to them too quickly, and all of a sudden I just rocketed myself into orbit. Is essentially what happened. Jonah with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Jonah. I greatly appreciate it. Says, so that's why the tractors are in my front. No, Jonah, I already explained this. The tractor's in orbit. It's not in your front yard. It's in Pluto's orbit by now.
Yeah.
Benji says, hey, Jonah. Benji also says, I cannot imagine being dragged across a field of cactuses. No, it would be certainly painful and not something I would want to have happen, but I think it is a better alternative than what I was talking about earlier.
Right.
And that's it. I'm all caught up. Oh, Will, you still there?
Yeah, I thought I had to sneeze there for a second.
I gotcha. I gotcha. You're being kind to the group here. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yo, I sneezed so loud like earlier that Bree Lily was walking from outside inside. She ran inside. She goes, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I just sneezed." She goes, "I heard that." So yeah, the next one is gonna be Animal Transports. This is by Lamy. This is 10.40 megabytes to download. I mean, I do like this because it has a built-in, because they took the base game International and made it as basically a self carrier for animals, but they also took the base game horse trailer, and you could put animals in there, like you put cows, stuff like that. But the best part is you can put 20 chickens in there.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you. I absolutely love this. It's not a big file size. 10.4 megabytes is not bad at all, but it's the first thing we have that will actually accept chickens as a transport, which is awesome. I love that. So yeah, all in all, this is a great mod. It took a good base. It's not too heavy on the file size. So yeah, the perfect mod all the way around. It's a nice idea to include that transport of chickens, because that's something that to this day still shocks me that Giants hasn't undertaken, as allowed for chickens to be a part of the transportable animals.
Right.
That you have to, in base game, go around and throw them in, via the pen dialogue box. So I don't know why that's still a thing, but it is. So I'm just glad to have a mod now that allows you to do all the animals.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I like this next one. So the next one's gonna be the Landau 7431 VT 33 foot by BC Bueller. This is 13.98 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $80,000, working with of 10.1 meters. Now this is nice because you can configure it to either be a disc harrow, a full-on mulcher, or both.
Yeah, so having that as the kind of trump card for less than 14 megabytes to install, having a 10.1 working with and $80,000 to kind of, give us our kind of overalls. Let's see. The fact that it does either, disc harrowing or mulching or both, that already has a trump card. It makes it already by itself a I would install this. Now, kind of
Mm-hmm.
taking a look at the kind of closest comparables, as I tend to do here. Disc harrows. Where are the disc harrows? There they are. That's a no. That's a power harrow. Uh, let's see. 10 meters. Do, 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 do. All right. Closest one we have is the Farmet Softer 11 PS. $95,000 to purchase. So this one is already cheaper by 15 grand. This is 10.5 meters. The one by BC Bueller is 10.1, so it's a little bit smaller, zero point 0.4 meters, but not enough to be like, oh my goodness, not even
Right.
consider. And horsepower requirements doesn't say
It's
on
300.
300.
Yeah.
All right, well the one base game is 330. So for 15 grand cheaper, and it has the trump card of being able to be a mulcher as well. Yeah, all day, all night install.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I installed that like right away once I saw it. Let's see. The next one's gonna be the Joss King Cargo. This is by Dyson's Agri. This is gonna be 54.06 megabytes to download. So basically, you just have a slurry hauler and a trailer. So with the bed part to it.
So with this one here, I'm not terribly impressed. I mean, the file size to install is 54 megabytes to install. So that's quite a big commitment for what essentially adds up to a Joskin's, slurry tanker and, you know, trailer. That's basically all it is at the end of the day, and you can have it kind of a modular setup. I like it in principle. Um, in the fact that you can have the kind of modularity. You can use one kind of base and have multiple connections to it. If it was more than just these two, then I'd be more on board with it,
Oh,
especially for that file size. But the fact that it's only the two and, I have no idea whether or not there's going to be more coming kind of thing, it would be a pass for me, unfortunately.
I agree, 100%. Let's see here. Next one's gonna be the SIP favorite 254. This this is by this is by uh, private Olden Farm SLM TWD Maurice 3001. This is gonna be 4.09 megabytes to download. So basically, what this is if you don't have the little side curtains, which you have to purchase separately, and you just have this, if I forget what button it is, but you activate a certain lever which pops up in the front. It's like right in the front. It pops upwards. It turns into a tedder. Now you deactivate that, and then you attach like when the side shoots to it, it turns into a windrower. The nice thing though is that the side curtains are actually liftable, so you can move them by hand.
Hmm. So I actually really like this. I really, really like this. It's really small, it's really cheap, and it's not that big to install. So all those things, I mean, at the end of the day, are very, very nice. The fact that it's got the trump card of being a tedder as well as being a windrower, doing all that stuff, does multiple jobs in one tool. Definitely, definitely like that. And I don't know if we're going to have anything that's going to be a real good comparable to it, because it's a windrower and tedder all in one kind of thing. But I mean, closest thing that we have base game. This is 2.5 working 2.5 meter working width for $5,000. Well, the kind of closest thing we got is the Pottinger Alpen Hit 4.4H for $6,000 and 4.4 meter for a tedder. So you're already having to buy the tedder, the cheapest one in game. You're spending 6 grand for that, and then getting the base game SIP windrower. You're spending 5 grand for that. Plus the that I mean, you're already having to invest, in two separate equipment for one price. This gives you the option to just invest in the one. So, all in all, I think that it's worth it, and I think it's worth an install.
If you're definitely doing like a small map, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This would have been perfect on Allengrad. Now this next one I liked a lot. Next one is going to be the K700 sliding shield own construction. This is by Robbie 66 and Oldsblock Gaming. It is 8.70 megabytes to download. It's $3,450. Now it does have a capacity on it, even though it doesn't really matter. To working with is 4.2 meters. It's a leveler, but I've already used this thing. It's super super nice. It moves a whole lot. Plus, it's got lights in the front. So if you're going at nighttime, it actually has lights built in to the leveler itself.
So as I mentioned before, I'm not huge on silage work and stuff. So these kind of mods really kind of shoot the moon for me. Not really one that I get all that hung up on. So I'm gonna say that this one for me personally is a push, but it's 8.7 megabytes to install, and it's got the 12,000 liter capacity and all that. I mean, it seems nice. It seems like a good model, good mod, but just not one that I'm gonna be like really hard in any direction.
Let's try to move my chair. I almost fell over. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Next one is going to be the Small Tools Package. This is by Dogface. Love the name. I'm always going to say that. It is 8.50 megabytes to download. So it comes with a plow, which is zero point 0.5 meters. It comes
Oof.
it comes with a cultivator, 2.5 meters. And it comes with a weeder, 3 meters. And it comes with another weeder that's 2 meters. So and I'm not stealing this phrase, and that's why I'm really gonna say that this phrase comes from Andy Farms. Well, if you like your small farm shenanigans, here you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of equipment for 8.5 megs. That's not bad. If you're wanting, to do small farms and stuff, this is going to be a good option for you. I could see the value in this for that size. So yeah, I would install this if you're looking for small equipment, small farm work.
Oh, really, man? So, I got Chris S in here right now, which hit the subscribe button. Uh, he said, I know you already talked about it. Wanted to mention I wanted the Colossus pack as individual mods, but Giants said it had to all be in the pack. I've noticed that from Giants. I mean, a lot of modders have actually came out and stated like my biggest worry is custom modding because they're big Slurryville metal pack. Because they're coming as 4 separate mods, but I feel like Giants are gonna make them put it all in one.
Yeah, which, as I've mentioned before, it's really disheartening that Giants is wanting a lot of these things in packs. As a console player, people know exactly where I stand on this. It's really really rough, to be able to have these massive file sizes for mods. Now, don't get me wrong, the file size for the Colossus pack I'd install that, as I mentioned before, all day, all night. That doesn't bother me because of how much it does.
Right.
But, but it would be nice if we were able to kind of choose an a la carte kind of, kind of thing. I understand where Giants is coming from. I genuinely do. But as a console player, it's one of those where it gets very disheartening to know that they're wanting to save on the work at the cost of, at the cost of their players and their space, which is already extremely limited, even more limited than we had in 22.
Right, right. I get you, and I agree. I mean, I also see Giants' point of view too, because it's easier for them to test, which I get. There's one thing. Let's hear. Chris just said, started on PS4. File size is always number one thought. Yeah. Quick question while you're in here, there, Chris. Are you still bringing your two planners back? Like the ones that were from FS22?
That'd
So,
be nice.
so
Well, and here's the thing is, to Chris's point, that's fantastic that there's modders like yourself who are thinking of the console players like, hey, I started on console, therefore I'm going to kind of take note of that and try whatever tricks and tips you have to be able to accommodate. That's fantastic. And like I said, I mean, it's one of those where you can see that kind of mentality being played out in the Colossus pack. It only being 100 some megabytes to install. I mean, if I'm sure if you were less careful, you could have been two, three, four times that size.
yeah,
Kind of thing is my guess. So, trust me, people like myself, we greatly appreciate it when that kind of attention is paid.
yeah, 100%. I agree. Fearsome Rhino 2. Thank you so much for subscribing, man. Highly appreciate it. Chris says planters are pending testing with a huge smiley
Ooh,
face.
nice.
Hit the subscribe button. I'm just kidding. You don't have to if you don't want to.
So we got Locke's Garage. How's it going, Locks? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says hi. Benji says, "Are you sure?" I mean, it's quite positive. Quite positive. Definitely not looking forward to being dragged through the cactuses, but I think that that would be better than the alternative. We've got Jonah with the 1, 2, 3, and Benji egging him on with the 4, 5, 6. Locke saying it's a good mod. Also says it used to. I use it all the time. Yeah, and like I said, as a content creator, I do too. These styles of mods work perfectly for a content creator because you're able to get so much stuff done
Yeah.
in the background without having to drag on. And it opens the doors, like I was mentioning earlier, to doing root crops and stuff like that. So, big shout out to Chris and Riley S. Thank you both so very much for pushing this out, getting it out to us all. It's fantastic, and we greatly appreciate it.
Right.
Ken says, I definitely won't install that Tedder. Nah, I can understand that.
Right.
And Fearsome Rhino says, I don't know why, but
Okay.
okay.
Chris said easily 200 megabytes. LOL.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I have no doubts about it. No doubt whatsoever. It could be 200 megabytes. Like I said, players like myself and many others, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we all want to say thank you, Chris. Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Quickie Bale Tools. This is by
What'd you call me?
Ian Design. I didn't say anything. It's going to be 21.55 megabytes to download. It comes with a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I love this pack. Now, because so it says third screenshot in, but the bale fork, with like the two spikes up top, you can actually take those away and put like a big bag handler on there as well. And then when you go to fold, and then when you go to fold the spike, tool, the spikes will fold upwards, so you can actually use it. But this thing has a massive advantage on it, and that is because you can configure it to be a front loader, telehandler, skid steer, and wheel loader. So,
So, with it being 21 megabytes to install, it's a bit high for the install, but you're getting a lot of different equipment, which is nice, and it's workable for all the different types of equipment that's available for the game. So, that being said, it's not that big considering when all things are said and done. All the various tools that you get for this, I mean, you can see here on the screen. I mean, you're getting the bale grabs, you're getting the the spikes, the bag lifters, the round balers. I mean, all this stuff. You're getting so much stuff with this pack. All said and done, yeah, I think this is a good one and definitely one that I would install.
oh yeah, I definitely have it installed on both my Xbox and my PC. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be the Lizard M20D. This is by Nico Do 55. This is 1.30 megabytes to download. It is a battle spike, but so you can either use it as a battle spike or you can select it to tension belt. So then what happens is that the spikes have no collisions on them, and you just pull right up, and then you just it theoretically puts a tension belt around whatever you're picking up, and you can just carry it. So,
So I absolutely love this mod. The fact that it kind of has that workaround with the tension straps, that's fantastic. Again, it's just one of those where if you can kind of simplify things without it making it look ridiculous or acting in a way that's unrealistic and stuff, I think that this is kind of the best of run on a 3-point link. It's set up to run on the front loaders, and so on and so forth. So when everything's said and done, I think this is one of those mods that the modder kind of thought outside the box and it's like, okay, what can I do that's going to make this thing look and function the way that it's intended to, and be able to be a little bit easier for those people who don't necessarily want to be realistic, but it look realistic. And I think this is a good compromise. And it being 1.3 megabytes to install, yeah, I would install this absolutely.
oh yeah, Benji, what's going on? It says, good evening, everybody. Good evening, good sir. So yeah, the next one's gonna be Silo Deep Ranch. This is by Name Mog Mod. What? Try to say that 5 times fast.
Nope.
It is 20.42 megabytes to download. So it comes with two silos. So you have the small silo with capacity of 1,000,000 liters. Price tag is $95,000. And they have a and they have a and then you have a large silo with 6,000,000 liters. Price tag $175,000. I personally would pass on these.
So it's 20, almost 21 megabytes to install. So that right there puts it very, very high up there for just a silo. But adore, I absolutely love the way that this looks. I think it looks fantastic. I love it even more that the small, quote unquote, small is 1 million liters.
Yeah.
That I think is by far the most ridiculous thing that I've ever had come out of my mouth. The small is 1 million liters. Wow. Just wow. But no, and then the large one is 6 million liters. That's just crazy. But no, I think this is a brilliant looking model. I think it looks amazing. It's got all the kind of rust and weathering on the roofs and the ceilings there. It's got just the kind of overall kind of patina all along the model itself. It looks fantastic. So you can see where that 21 megabytes is coming from, not only from the various kind of, designs that are in here because the small and large, but you also get that very nice looking model itself. So I think it looks good. Would I necessarily install it? 21 megabytes for a silo? Probably not. I'm probably going to stick with, some other kind of model that might be a little bit smaller in file size as well. What was that?
Well, the first one we talked about. That's the one you're using on your game
Yes.
player now.
Yep. No, and that's it. Is it's significantly smaller than the one I'm using. That had the update from earlier. It stores not only your loose grains, it also stores your palleted goods and bales. I mean, it's a win-win-win, and it's only
Yeah,
like 4 MB to install as opposed to 21. I mean, don't get me
2.8.
wrong. I think these look significantly better. I
Yeah,
think the look on these are 100 times better, but sometimes function over form.
yeah. It's 2.88. Just to let you know. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be the multifunctional sheds. This is by MA7 Studio. This is 78.60 megabytes to download. So basically, you get a hangar, which is $64,000. You have a cow barn version, which is $84,000, and you can expand the pasture out. And then you do have a sheep one, which is $48,000, and then you have a silo, which is $64,000, which will hold bales and pallets. I forgot how many pallets it holds, but for the cows, no milk production, and you can't even get slurry or manure out of it. So it's literally just like raising calves, basically. I mean, to me, it's not worth it, but
So MA7 Studios did a fantastic job on this. It looks brilliant,
uh
as pretty much anything that MA7 Studios touches, it looks amazing. 79 megabytes to install for a hangar, a cow barn, a sheep barn, and a kind of storage silo. All that, I don't know if that's worth it for me. I
no,
would not install this unless I was doing some kind of large series on something like Pelinier, where this would very much fit in, but it's just one of those where it would be a very specific use case. But overall, I'd probably breeze past this one, unfortunately.
yeah, me too. I mean, I installed it at first, take a look, and after I found out that you couldn't get slurry or manure out of it, I'm like, nope, pass. Next one's going to be Attic. This is also by MA7 Studios. This is 15.89 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $22,000. This is a shed. It's mainly meant for like your small farm shenanigans, basically, because it's how the doors are. I mean, it's very well detailed, but
Yeah, so copy and paste everything I said about the looks of the building to this in the previous one. This one looks amazing. It looks spectacular. 16 megabytes to install, 22,000 to buy. It's not expensive. It's not that much, all things considered, for file size. But it's again got a very specific use case for it. And for me, it's not gonna find its way onto my files, unfortunately. Again, I say unfortunately because it looks brilliant. It looks amazing, and it's something I would love to have on my farm, but because of how hyper specific it is, I just can't.
right, right. So your next one's gonna be Hall 45 by 20M. This is by Nalu. This is gonna be
You
7.39.
got to stop calling me names.
I'm not calling you anything, man. Ow, my knee. I just whacked
Don't do
myself.
that.
So this will be 7.39 megabytes to download, and you have a price tag of $85,000.
So for less than 8 megabytes to install, you have a hull that you can customize to multiple different colors. I mean, it looks like a basic shed. All things considered, looks all right. Could fit in just about any farm that's out there. So this one, I'd be comfortable with installing. It's nice, cavernous inside. Looks like you can store a bunch of stuff. It's got some loose grain there in the screenshot we just passed through. So yeah, all in all, I think this is a nice little model, and yeah, I think I would install this one. Absolutely.
I passed on it. Next one's gonna be a small garage with a workshop. This is be wow. This is by was that Canary 317? I think it's supposed to be. It's 4.19 megabytes to download. It costs $10,000. Now this thing looks absolutely phenomenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very,
Mm-hmm.
very highly detailed. There is one big problem with this.
Uh-oh.
It's 53 slots.
Wow.
Yeah. so, so,
So we know where all that detail went.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's one of those where less than 5 megabytes to install, 10,000 to buy. It's cheap. It's not that big on the file size, but that much in the slot count, holy smokes. I mean, I'm less concerned about slot counts. I'll be honest with you. I'm not as concerned about that one, especially because you can see where those slots are coming from. This model looks fantastic, and I
Oh yeah.
love that they use the old New Holland as a kind of representation of the image here. Um, I don't know. I love the hanging tire. I love the ladder, the kind of ivy that's kind of draped on the side of the building there. This is wonderful. This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, honestly, I'm not that concerned about the slot counts because it's not something that's going to be, you know, ultra prohibitive the on the hard drive itself. It's going to be prohibitive on the game size itself, but
Right.
there's ways around that.
I mean, it does look absolutely phenomenal, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't foresee or use this on my farm, but I mean, it's got 5 stars by 22 people. I mean, it's well deserving of 5 stars.
Yeah.
But just
Yep, I agree.
so your next one's gonna be Pack of Tin Car Garages. This is by Kutskin. I don't even know. I don't even want to try to pronounce that. $500 for it, and you basically just store a
Oh,
card.
made the bank go burr. I mean, look, if you're looking for a small little shed to throw your stuff into, I mean, this is it.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, not for me.
yeah,
This is one that I would be a hard pass on. The file size is not bad. The price is not bad. It's just I could not imagine a scenario where I would think that, yeah, I would want to have this on my farm.
agreed. Agreed, 100%, man. Do you want to check? Do you want to catch up your chat real quick?
I do, I do. You know me too well. Let's see. We got. There we go. We got Benji saying hello to Rhino. Rhino saying hi, bud. Ken saying also works on round bales with the anti-bale flip. Ooh, very nice. Ken also says that small garage I could see on Pelinier. Oh yeah, absolutely, I could see that on Pelinier, and all that stuff I can see on Pelinier. Pelinier would be a perfect example for all those MA7 Studio mods, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's one of those that currently I'm not playing on Pelinier, so it's not one that I would actually install simply because of that. He also says, or some other European map. Yeah, again, 100% agree with you. 100%. I think they're brilliant mods, brilliant models. Like I said before, MA7 Studios makes amazing stuff. Just, I can't justify it right now, but I could under the right scenarios.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I believe I am all caught up.
Right, perfect. I like this next one. So this is gonna be the grass fermentation silage silo. This is by 2-bit modding. It's 19.12 megabytes to download. Costs $65,000. Capacity 500,000 liters. And this thing is not bad. I mean, I have installed it. I personally like it.
So for less than 20 megabytes to install, you spend less than 70,000 to buy. You get a fairly decent capacity, 500,000 liters. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to make some silage, then this is going to be something for you. Depending on the kind of recipes and stuff, the cycles per month and all that stuff. Um, yeah, I could see this being a good model and good, or I should say, a good mod. It's got a good looking model for it. I mean, it's got that kind of what appears to be maybe a kind of European look to it, as best as I can tell. But no, all in all, it looks good. I would install it.
Yeah, but I love the brick design
Yep.
on it. Let's see. Oh, moving on. Next one. Oh, here we go. This is gonna be the production points pack. This is by Puma 145. This is be 109.82 megabytes to download. Now, basically, what this is he took all the production points base game from FS22 and brought them over.
So I could see the value in this personally. There's several models from last iteration's game that I think were better looking than some of the current models. But for 110 megabytes to install and just the excess that would be a part of it for me personally, I would install it. That's a lot of commitment right there.
Uh,
Um, I would certainly jump all over the Colossus long before this for the same megabyte size. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's certain models and stuff that I liked. They looked, I think, better, but I'd be basically installing it for maybe one or two models, and that's it.
I mean, I don't have this on my Xbox. I have it on my PC, but I don't know. Have it on my Xbox.
Yeah.
So your next one is going to be Productions Pack. This is by The Lort. This is going to be 2.36 megabytes to download. So basically, you have a pig feed production, a total mixed ration production, and a salad production. I'm going to tell you right now, the pig production is pretty good, actually. Perfect. Time right here. Let's see here. Yeah, so the pig one, so you get, so it holds 1 million liters for the pig, which is fantastic total. So you got 250 wheat, you have 500 potatoes, 250 sugar beets equals 1,000 pig feed. For your silage, the total capacity for a holding is 400,000 liters, and you get 1 to 1, so 1,000 to 1,000. Now for
But that
the
one only does chaff though. That's the
yeah
only
yeah
issue I have with it.
the TMR is criminal because so you have you have a total capacity of 400,000 liters for each. It's 48 cycles a month, but you have 1,000 silage, you have 500 hay, 100 mineral feed, 400 straw equals 1,000 total mixed ration.
Yeah, so either that recipe is portioned incorrectly, or it needs an update, or you're losing out on a bunch of material by using it. I like this pack in theory, but that TMR ration, the recipe, that needs to be addressed, in my opinion. If it gets adjusted, then it'll be fine. I do have this installed personally. I do like it. It's a nice model, as well as only being less than 3 megabytes to install. The pig feed is really good. I do like that one as a recipe. Wheat, potatoes, and sugar beets, and you're done. All those are relatively easy to come by, especially now that we got the Colossus pack. And it's a 1 to 1 ratio. Very, very straightforward to come with. And most starting farms and stuff will give you a wheat field to start. So wheat's going to be very easy to come by. It's the potatoes and sugar beets, and potatoes and sugar beets do a couple contracts, and you're going to get quite a bit left over from those contracts. You do two contracts, one for potatoes and one for sugar beets, and you're going to have pig feed for days.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I passed on that. To be completely honest, but I mean, somebody out there is gonna like it. Next one's gonna be Diesel Production. This is by Alice Factory Mods. This is gonna be 12.11 megabytes to download. I mean, it costs $102,000. Your capacity for input is 100,000. Your diesel capacity is 300,000. Your cycles per month is 48. The recipe is 100 liters of water to 100 liters of canola, sunflowers, soybeans. Equals 750 liters of diesel.
So this mod, I love it. I absolutely love it. For less than 13 megabytes to install, yeah, you require, various different stuff to get your diesel, but it's really not that bad. It's really, really not. Um, I mean, yeah, you're missing out on the recipe, 1,000 liters of water plus 1,000 liters of, canola, sunflowers, or soybeans to get this diesel. You're taking a reduction by quite a bit. But I mean, really, water you can get from free from, most maps will give you a water source kind of thing. So I really kind of ignore that, personally. And there's even now productions where you can just have it generate the water for you and then
Yeah.
it'll deliver it for you. So again, water, not that concerned about. So really you're taking a, 1 to 3/4 reduction in your products, but you're making diesel. And if you've got a sell point for diesel, you can make a killing off of it. Or you can have a ton of it left over for uh, for your equipment and stuff kind of thing. So
Now,
it's one of those that I think that it's a brilliant mod for 13 megabytes to install. I installed this one. Absolutely.
now, the previous one, the production pack we just talked about. The one good thing about that is that you can take your stuff back out if you put
Yep.
too much in. So, let's see here. Next one is going to be the Art Master 2K25 pack. This is by Vanquish 081. This is going to be 18.18 megabytes to download. I mean, so you got your Seedmaster, Seedmaster V2. Let's see here. Then you got your Roko Master, Roko Master V2. You got your Freddy Master V2, and then you got your Pig Master, Zexam, and then your Mix Master. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure
So
out.
this one I love. I absolutely love this. I loved this in 22. I love it again here in 25, and here's why. Less than 19 megabytes to install. Not that bad on the file size. Really not. And when you get one, two, three, four, five separate production points, you get the seed, the lime, the fertilizer, the pig food, and the TMR mixers. You know, I believe the difference between the originals and V2s are the production cycles per month, I think, because it's all the
No,
same recipes.
no.
No?
So the difference is that the originals, like the Seedmaster, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So just the Seedmaster, you have to like take a front bucket or a conveyor belt and load it in from the top. The V2 has a grate on the bottom. You can just dump it right into.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, well that's cool too. I like that. Gives you some options if you don't want to dump with a bucket. But I mean, personally, it's wasn't that big of a deal. I actually used a couple of these on my Pelinier series for FS22. I used the Roku Master as well as the Ferdy Master. Now there's small capacities. I think it's like 20,000 liters is the final capacity output kind of thing.
Oh.
But for a small farm, I mean, even to a medium-sized farm, I mean, it produces it pretty quickly. I mean, when everything's all said and done. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is a brilliant mod. I loved these, and I continue to love them.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like the one thing I actually like from them. So your next one is gonna be the Calf Igloo, or the way DJ Gohan likes to say it, Calfloo. That's the way he puts it. This is by Maxter. This is 2.43 megabytes to download. It only holds one calf. It's $500 basically, 499. Just make it 500. Yeah, but I have one problem with this mod. I absolutely love it and I have it and I use it, but I have one problem. The animal doesn't appear on the inside. When you buy the animal or put the animal in there, it appears on the outside.
Yep.
So,
It's gonna need an update.
yeah,
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. I love this mod. Less than 3 MB to install. $500 is dirt cheap. To have a kind of place to raise your calf. That's fantastic, and it's a live calf. Like it's moves around and does its thing. It'll lay down and the whole 9 yards. That's fantastic. Love that.
because we have them now.
What's that?
Because we actually have calves now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense to have these things.
Uh-huh.
Before when we had these, when we didn't have the baby animals, you had like the still image of them kind of thing. So it was like their workaround to be able to have quote unquote calves in game, or it was just decoration kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
But I think this is brilliant, and I think they're going in the right direction. Once this gets updated and gets fixed, then this is something I will reinstall. I had it on my console. I even installed it on one of my maps that I was working on, and then realized, oh no, the animal's on the outside of the fence, so I uninstalled it.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Hector already uploaded his to ModHub, so now it's just waiting to be tested. Because his came with the single or the one that holds five. So
Oh, nice.
let's see here. Next one is going to be Beehives. This is by Missy B. Love this mod. 6.8
Hmm.
6.85 MB to download. See, I think it's awesome because you can either get it in like a couple different like beehives, and then my personal favorite, get the whole car where they just come out of the bonnet, like the hood, and then and then it comes with a placeable area, but you can use any area, like any mod that spawns honey.
So yeah, this one's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Less than 7 MB to install, and you get all the different varieties of bees. And I'm sorry, but that car is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely hilarious because, I mean, for any of us who's grown up out in the country and whatnot and had junkers on their properties, knows exactly what this is. They know exactly, and I mean, me personally, I've grown up out in the country. I've had vehicles that I intended to repair but never did, and needless to say, this same exact scenario happened, and trying to deal with it was a nightmare. But that's a separate story. And yeah, just absolutely think it's a brilliant idea, brilliant models. Yeah, and yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Worth it, and would install. Absolutely.
I actually have it installed, and I actually have the car put down on my Frankenmuth map. I have it kind of buried in some bushes in the woods. So, so the next one is, for some odd reason, it's in one word, but washing area. This is by Holden HP Modding. It's 6.79 MB to download. You have a price tag of $2,500. So this does not come with a washer. You have to place your own down.
So I understand where they're coming from on this one. Me personally, though, wouldn't install it. 7 MB, not a big deal. $2,500, again, not a big deal. Uh, it's just decoration is all it is at the end of the day. So for me personally,
It's a
I
pass.
don't see myself. Yeah, I don't see myself wanting to put it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would pass on it.
Next one's going to be Country Flags for Wall. This is by JMZ. This is 0.66 MB to download. For each flag, it's $50, which isn't bad. I have one problem with this. One problem with this this mod.
Let's hear it.
So if you look at the very first screenshot, you see the American flag on the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks beautiful. You go over to the last screenshot, you probably could tell me right off the bat what my problem
Oh,
is.
hello. Yeah, something doesn't look right there.
So it's like it's not mirrored correctly. So
Yeah, that's definitely got some updates. Now here's the thing though. This isn't a thing for uh like flags as they're supposed to be, but if you look at like military garb and stuff like that, the military attire, you will notice this kind of thing to where the flags are backwards on the shoulders of military members, and there's a reason for that. The reason being is it's supposed to look like the flag is blowing in the wind. So it's one of those like, although it's not applicable here, there are scenarios where it would be backwards, but that's not what this is.
right now, I mean, which I kind of figured that an update is probably going to come out for, and it'll be fantastic at that point. But just doesn't look right.
Yeah, and you can also notice it there on the Brazilian flag too. If you're familiar with the Brazilian flag, it's definitely mirrored on there, so it's just a flip image of it. So I
Yep.
could see that being rather annoying. Walking from one direction it looks fine, walking from the other direction it's like, wait a minute,
Right. Something doesn't add
Doesn't
up
look
here.
right.
Yo,
is that whiskey I
How's
hear?
it going?
that is whiskey.
Yeah.
Whiskey, how's it going?
How's it going?
What up? What up?
Doing good. Just got done streaming a few minutes ago, so yeah.
Nice.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the,
First single as the first single player multi or stream I've done too, so
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
all the other ones I've done so far have been multiplayer. Well, at least with other people talking in the background on Discord anyways.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch up with the chat just real quick here. Let's see. We got Oregano says, chat, do I gotta get to work? Oregano, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And also says yes or no in chat. Farming with Outlaw, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hi, everyone. Oregano says, does chat say yes or no? I tell you what, do you got to get to work? I mean, if you are required to, then yes, get to work. If not, then, sit back,
say
have
no.
fun. And I say no.
I say don't work.
You say don't work. That's your vote.
I say
What about you,
yeah,
Will?
I say,
What's your vote?
Well, I mean, if you don't like your job, then stay home.
that's simple, I guess, right?
Ken says, "Hey there, Outlaw." We got Oregano saying, "Farming with Outlaw. Don't just come in and interrupt." And Ken, don't ignore what I said. Okay, calm down. It's okay. Everything's gonna be fine, Oregano. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Let's see. Ken says yes. There you go. So go ahead and get to work. I think we got to what? Two yeses and two nos. I think is what we're at so far.
Yeah.
Farming with
50-50,
Outlaw
I
says,
think.
what's that, Whiskey?
It's 50-50 right now.
50-50?
Yes and no.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Farming with Outlaws says, what does everyone think about the placeable feedlot pen? Oh, we're getting to that. We're getting to that. Also says, the only thing I missed from the feedlot pack is the other fences options we had with the mod in FS22. Gotcha. Kiwi, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hey, BDD and everyone. Ken says, what up, Kiwi Sim Farmer? Kiwi Sim Farmer says, chilling with working from home. Nice. Benji says, all in all, why pen up calves when they want to run and jump? That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Benji says, hey to Kiwi. We got Benji saying, hey to Outlaw. Outlaw says, hey to Benji. Samuel Wilkinson Jr. says, hi, how you doing? Hope you have a fantastic day so far. And also says, I just subscribed now. Awesome. I appreciate it, Samuel. Appreciate it greatly. And it looks like I'm all caught up.
Let's see. Well,
Hey Charles, how's it going?
Jonah.
Long time no see. You're in my chat for a little bit.
Jonah, oh my goodness. So Jonah says, well, be like me and hide in the closet. That's,
Oh man.
see.
We'll see again. It's one of those where, if you don't need the pay, then, you do what you want. if you're like some secret billionaire or something like that, and you're like,
I
just going
wish.
undercover to work,
Right.
right? And
I,
I'm just going
I
undercover to work and
wish.
whatnot, just to
Hey,
kill time or
if
whatever.
I
Then
had
yeah,
that, hey, if I had that, then I would have like the most fancy PC setup, custom
mm-hmm.
built,
No, I'm right there with you.
making mods from home too. And doing PC stuff, farm some stuff.
Let's see here. So the next one's going to be Small Sawmill. This is by the Lort. This is going to be 28 by 14 megabytes to download. So, I mean, this is like a small sawmill that does everything instead of like just some things.
So I like that it does everything. It's a bit on the smaller side, which is great. If you're looking for just a small, compact little thing, 29 megabytes to install though, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. Um, I mean, when all things are said and done, it's not like it's a huge model. It's not like it's highly detailed. There are some things there that are, uh, kind of, out on the outside and whatnot, but I don't know. I would have a hard time justifying the 29 megabytes to install this one, so this would probably be a pass for me.
Yeah. Let's see here. Um, the uh, the next one's going to be a charging station with solar panels and storage. This is by Hot Online Team. This is going to be 8.42 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of 55,409. Why are we pricing things at $499? Just put $56,000. Like,
Because they're trying to be like real life. You know how everything's like
yeah,
0.99, cents on the dollar for
yeah.
some reason?
Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, this is a very unique mod, and I like the idea about it. But I don't use electric vehicles.
Yeah, I'm
So
kind of there with you. I mean, for less than 9 megabytes, if you're a user of electric vehicles, then hey, this is going to be something that you can put onto your map and kind of chug away with. From a console player's perspective, there's nothing wrong with it. 9 megabytes to install and 60 grand to place. I mean, yeah, if I was an electric vehicle user, I would say yes, go ahead and install this. But as I am not big into electric vehicles, this is one I probably avoid.
right.
I like my diesels. I like my
Yep.
diesel powered stuff.
Yep. Uh, let's see here. The next one is going to be Scrap for the Farm. This is by Skika Setka. Uh,
You know what? I'm only going to tolerate so much more of you calling me names before I just say, you know what? I'm done.
wow. This is gonna be 6.97 megabytes to download. It's gonna be $100 for the decoration. I mean, I absolutely like these. They're they're absolutely brilliant.
Nope.
They look
I like
fantastic.
my farm nice and clean ish. Organized is one thing. Clean, no.
And here's the thing is for less than 7 megabytes to install and $100 for the actual purchase price, I actually really like this. I think it's a really kind of a unique idea to have like junk littered around your yards because there's plenty of farms out there where, there's plenty of this kind of stuff. Just the
Yeah.
old equipment just out there in the middle of the back 40 and all that stuff. And
Yep.
you had every intention of fixing it, just like I was mentioning before with the beehive truck, as I was alluding to. Um, but I mean, this stuff happens, and I think this is
Yeah.
brilliant. I like it. 7 megabytes to install, $100 a purchase. Yeah, I would install this absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Make your farm look more realistic too.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I can
Exactly.
tell you one thing: my uncle's farm is not clean. I guarantee you that one thing right now. It's not clean.
Well, and that's the thing is most farmers like they will just do things in order to move on to the next thing. Like they're doing the most useful thing to make the farm survive. Cleaning
Yeah.
is not necessarily the most useful thing for the farm's survival unless it's taking up space that's necessary to utilize.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Let's see here.
Or you have very little space to use.
Exactly.
Let's see here. The next one's gonna be Greater Poland House. This is by Rolseb. I think that's how you pronounce it. No, I'm not calling you any names there, BG. It's gonna be a 19.
I'm gonna give you a complex by the end of the stream.
Let's see, it's gonna be a 19.04
Jared,
megabytes to download.
Will's gonna need a soundbite by the end of the stream. Going, I'm not calling you any names there, BDD.
It's gonna cost $30,000, which isn't bad, but you can't go inside of it. What?
Can't go inside of it. That's 20 megabytes to install, 30,000 to buy. I mean, that's a big file size for a house that you can't get into. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just, I don't know, just not my cup of tea.
Pass.
So this one I would skip over.
Yeah. Pass too. Yeah, pass.
Oh my gosh, Jonah. So he said, no, you're totally calling him names. Stop doing it, LOL. I'm not doing anything.
See, Jonah hears it too. You know what? Jonah, you got my back. I appreciate you, bud. Hey, just real quick here, catch up with the chat. We got, let's see, Samuel says thank you. We got Benji saying, hey, whiskey. We got Samuel also saying, hi from Watch at Mississippi. Oh, very nice, Mississippi. Ken says, welcome to the stream, Samuel. Midwest Ag, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, how's it going? Going fantastic, Midwest. Hope you're having a fantastic day as well. And then Ken says, that looks like Walter's old combine, LOL. I saw that. I had to get to that.
Let's see here. I absolutely love this next one. I got all excited over this one. So this is going to be the John Deere 7J/7030. This is by Agritono. This is going to be 19.69 megabytes to download. Nice. I absolutely love this tractor. This tractor has a lot of customization to it.
So this one here is the perfect example of what you should do when creating tractors, in my opinion. This is my opinion here. Less than 20 megabytes to install, so it meets that 25 megabyte threshold when it comes to a tractor. It has tons of customizations, just like Will said. And it's just one of those that it's a nice looking model, nice looking mod. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's got the best of all worlds. Less than 25 megabytes to install. It's going to be, a bit on the cheaper side. You're going to have a whole bunch of different horsepower ranges and a bunch of different options to work with. So all in all, install this. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Hands down.
So there's two different versions for the chiptune. But the highest engine horsepower you can go up to is 265, which isn't bad for a medium. This is a medium tractor. So
well, and considering it's less than 170,000 to purchase, that's not that bad.
Right.
A good starting farm tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Next one's gonna be the Claas Axion 920 960. This is by Mac featuring Ego Ryan. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. This is going to be 33.42
Stop
megabytes.
butchering the names there, Will.
I don't know how to pronounce half these modders' names. I try. Now, for me, I could see...
Just giving you a hard time.
See, I know, man, I know. See, I could see... if it was this high, if you could open up doors and stuff like that, but you can't even do that. Like the Giants version of this is lower. It's like 24, 25 megabytes.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the exact opposite end of the spectrum of what I was just saying before. It's above 25 megabytes, so that one right there really kind of crushes it for me. For the price ranges, it's going to be real expensive, so it's not like a money saver or anything like that. Right. It comes with weights as well, so that's going to be in addition to the file size, but it shouldn't be enough to make that big of a difference for a weight. All things said and done,
Yeah.
personally, I would skip over this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here, the next one is gonna be the lizard.
Doesn't mean
Fort. It's gonna be the lizard 4 tracks 300. This is by Slucius Modding. He makes some really good stuff. It's gonna be 16.19 megabytes to download. This I think is very unique, especially with the front loader on it.
Yeah, the front loader, the rear 3-point link. I mean, it basically is a more useful version of the Gator that we have in base game, the John Deere Gator, because it's got that rear 3-point link. But this, as opposed to the Gator, has the front loader tools,
Yeah,
to it. I mean, 5 grand to purchase and 17 megabytes to install, is not bad. Personally, I would
yeah.
not install it because I just don't use this kind of equipment. So yeah, all in all, I think this isn't bad, but not one that I would have.
right. Let's see. Here. So the next one is going to be the Sodimac, yeah, Sodimac Meg 8800. This is by USM or Universe Simu Modding. They make fantastic stuff. This is
Absolutely.
this is gonna be 15.81 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $156,000. Capacity of 34,000 liters with a silage kit option, but it has a working width of 24 meters because this is also a manure spreader.
So if we look at kind of our closest comparables, 16 megabytes is not that bad considering. Let's see, closest comparable that we have, manure spreaders. This is a 34,000 liter capacity. So let's look at, looks like the biggest one we have available to us is the Samsung US 235 Dynamic for 30,300 liters. So this one has more capacity by almost, 3,500. This one is $156,000. The Samsung is 149,500. So you're only about 7 grand more expensive, but you are getting that slight bump up in literage. 24 meter working
Yeah.
with the Samsung. This has a 24 meter working with. So it's really, really close. It's really kind of in line
Your
with the
choice,
pricing scale.
this kind of
What's that,
thing.
Whiskey?
Your choice, which you prefer, kind of thing, too, probably.
Yeah, I
Or do you
mean,
want,
potentially. It's one of those where, yeah, it's all
or
kind of
you
in line, and it's not a huge price differential. So for 16 megabytes to
yeah,
install, it'd be one of those kind of a push scenario for me because it's not a price savings. It's basically if you want just a little bit more storage for the price, then okay. But
Right,
no, I would probably save
yeah,
the 16 megs and put it towards something else personally.
right.
yeah.
Let's see here.
Same here.
The next one is going to be the Massey Ferguson Trailer Pack. This is by Nico Do 55. This is going to be 23.64 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $11,730. You do have different capacities, so you got 7,050 liters to 13,250 liters. There is an auger wagon, smaller, large version.
So this one here for 24 megabytes to install, it's I mean, it's got the auger wagon, it's got the trailers and all that stuff, which is all fine and dandy. But if we take a look at the closest comparable, which is going to be difficult because I don't think we really have anything base game that's going to be anywhere near this. Yeah, the closest one I see here would be the Demco 850 single auger grain cart. For almost 70,000 to buy the Demco. This is $11,730. So it's significantly cheaper. It's significantly smaller though, but not by much, all things considered. You're talking a maximum or minimum starting capacity of 7,050 liters. The Demco is 30,000. So what's that? That's 7, 14, 21, 28. So you're talking about 4 or 5 times the size. I mean, actually, everything else said and done, the Demco is going to be a better price per thousand. So yeah, no, actually, that being said, for 24 megabytes to install and the kind of price per liter, I'd probably just stick with the Demco.
Right. Let's see here.
Yeah.
The next one is gonna be the Lizard 4T. This is by Zion. This is gonna be 4.28 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $3,000, capacity 4,000 liters. I mean, if you're just looking for something small, just like haul grain around to like go feed your chickens or just move something small, I mean, yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's a hard pass for me.
So this one here, I would actually disagree with you. So there's two elements I look for when it comes to trailers. File size, less than 5 megabytes, not that bad. And price per liter or price per 1,000 liters is less than $1,000. This one hits that. It's 4,000 liters for $3,000. So if you're looking for a little cart, this is going to be a good one to go for because the price per 1,000 is going to be cheap. So all in all, yeah, I would install this.
Here, the next one is going to be the Kroger Agroliner PWO24. This is by Kazdan18. They also make fantastic stuff. This is going to be 7.93 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $20,000.
I mean, if you're looking for just a flatbed trailer that you can load stuff on, then yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic. And for less than 8 megabytes to install, 20 grand to buy, it's it's pretty much in line with what we have in base game. I do like the little flaps side doors that you can open and close. That's actually kind of cool. Um, yeah, all in all, I would say that this would probably be a good one to install.
Let's see. Yeah, the next one's be the Anderson Group Stack Pro 7200. This is by Hispano Modding. It's gonna be $102,000 to purchase. Required horsepower is 175, and it holds 14 square bales. I absolutely love this. I was actually waiting for this.
So I'm right there with you. I love it too. Less than 14 megabytes to install, so not a bad file size. $102,000 is a little bit expensive considering that we have the Arcrusion FSX 6372 base game for 90,000. So this is an extra 12 grand for the same amount of bales. 14 bales is available for both trailers. The only difference is the loading mechanics. This one kind of squeeze grabs and kind of rotates and flops it in. The Accrusion just kind of has that kind of swivel
Belt drive.
bale loader kind of thing. Both of them stack. Both of them kind of do pretty much the same exact thing. Um, I do like this. I did and would install it. But you're going to be spending about 12 grand more for this one as opposed to the base game. So it's going to be a come at your own risk kind of thing. But again, like I said, I would and did install it.
Plus the big difference too is that you can actually change the color on the Anderson, unlike the base game.
Yes, that is correct.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Kloss Quadrant 5300 FC Evolution. This is by NicoDo55. It's 8.55 megabytes to download. Required horsepower is 250. Price tag of $171,000. You can make your normal average size bales. I typically like this because I like how you can actually have it like the Evolution on the side or mix it in with the Kloss. I think that looks,
Evolution.
I think it looks awesome.
I mean, it looks fantastic. It's a great model, and yeah, they did a fantastic job. And for less than 9 megabytes to install, it's not that bad when everything's said and done. You're talking $171,000 for this particular baler. It's the same thing. It's in line with the kind of base game model. It's basically boiling down to the
Details or not.
the details, the evolution and things like that. Now, I will say this has the variable working width, which is very nice. It goes up, to various different sizes. That's fantastic. I love that. So for 9 MB to install, you can have a nicer looking baler with the kind of, evolution stickers along the side, and you can have the wider working width. I would install this absolutely.
The next one is going to be the Agrisim Cultiplow Platinum. This is also by Hispano Modding. Absolutely love this. This is going to be 9.89 megabytes to download. Price tag of $68,000. Required horsepower is 435. Has a working width of 8 meters. And this is a subsoiler. I absolutely love this.
So when we look at our base game comparables, first off, 10 MB to install, not that bad. This is a subsoiler. It's in the subsoiler category. This would be the largest subsoiler that we have available. The largest subsoiler base game is 5 meters. It's the Alpago K Extreme 11500 for 31,500. So this is about double the price, and the Alpago only requires 350. This requires 435. So it's one of those. You're getting about 3 extra meters of working with this one here versus the 5 meter Alpago, but you're spending double the price. You're not getting double the working width. So personally, this one I'd probably pass on because it's a significantly higher bump to this one for 3 extra meters. If it was doubled the working width, if it was 10 meters for this price, then I'd be all over it. But yeah, no, it's just too much of a discrepancy in the pricing scale for me to get on board with it.
And I absolutely love it, but that's just me personally. Next one's going to be the classic 2-row planner. This is by Dogface. Love the name. It's going to be 2.11 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $2,750. You have a required horsepower of 20, working with 2 meters, and a capacity of 100 liters.
So yeah, no, this is one of those small farm planters, 2.11 megabytes to install, super small, super cheap. Only requires 20 horsepower, so and 100 liters of capacity. So one of those where it's gonna do the job. It's gonna do it very slowly because of the size, but it does have a good look to it. When all things are said and done, I love that kind of old school look that it has, and it's kind of got a charm. So would I necessarily use this for anything in particular? No, most likely not. But I could see if those people who have a small farm going would want to, for super dirt cheap and for not that big of a megabyte commitment. Yeah, I would install it.
Your fall small farm shenanigans. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. It's going to be, let me say, the Lizard 525. This is by TM Modding and Vulex. It's going to be 2.37 megabytes to download. Price tag of $550. So
I'm convinced that second word is a curse in some foreign language. I don't know why, but just I have a feeling.
That's why I didn't say it.
Exactly. He's got that gut. It's just that gut feeling,
Just the feeling.
That gut feeling,
I don't like this. I'm just gonna state that right now. I don't like it.
So 3 megabytes to install. You can have a bale capacity, or a manure fork for 250 liters, or a shovel for 500. I mean, this is certainly unique. I will give it that. It's definitely unique, and it's something that, I mean, I would never use personally, but I could definitely see the appeal of it for certain small farms and stuff like that. All that being said, I would install it if I was running a small farm, is to kind of keep the aesthetics, but not something that I would go out of my way.
Right.
You know what it reminds me of is, have you ever seen those toys for kids? Those little shovels.
Oh,
you get to sit down on it. Huh? Yeah, the sandbox
Yeah,
box toy.
yeah.
Exactly. That's what this reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this picture, this screenshot right here, where it has all these kind of like levers, it looks like.
Yeah.
Um, like it just looks like you're supposed to sit in the back and just kind of,
Yeah. Right.
Am
Hey,
I wrong?
Will.
No. What's up?
Hey, Will. You know that small two-row planter you're talking about?
Yeah.
Just talking about there? That one looks like that would go work well with those old tractors that just came out on the Mod Hub too. Well, I
Oh,
think it was last week or so.
oh yeah. I like the old John
Those
Deere and the
old
Zeter
tractors.
and the Porsche.
Yeah, those old ones there, the old open
Mm-hmm.
cab ones there.
Yeah.
Looks like that would work well with those there probably.
Oh yeah.
Just by
Whiskey.
looking at it, you know.
Oh yeah. Whiskey says, "Hi there, Wilty. What up? What up?" Um. Next one's gonna be Lizard Box. This is by Dyson's Agri. This is gonna be 3.46 megabytes to download. Oh yeah, $867 with a capacity of 1,000 liters.
I mean, again, essentially what this is a fancy trailer that you can hook up via 3 point. It comes in under the $1,000 per 1,000 liters. So for 4 megabytes to install, yeah, I would install this. I would put this on my game. Especially if you're running a small farm, I think this would be very beneficial to a small farm. Uh, but again, it's going to have a very hyper-specific use case that might be better used of that 4 megabytes elsewhere at the end of the day. So,
Right.
would I install this? Yes, if I can come up with a scenario that it would be useful for.
Oh, I agree. Agree 100%. Let's see here. Next one's gonna be Central Warehouse Pack. This is by uh, by uh, is that Camicator? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's gonna be $9. Wow, it's gonna be 9.91 megabytes to download. This introduced the very first autoload trailer,
Hmm.
which I know a lot of people were dying over.
Again, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm
Not me.
I know you were one of them.
See, as I have said several times here tonight, as a content creator, these kind of unrealistic things, like I use these a lot in the background. Not in the foreground, not often do I use them in the foreground, but in the background, I'm trying to get things done as quickly as possible so I can move on to the next part of the story.
Right.
So that having an autoload trailer now is fantastic. I did install this one for less than 10 megabytes to install, but I mean the majority of this has nothing to do with the trailer. Even the trailer is like a bonus piece. Now, what this is mainly is uh, basically a silo system for your palleted goods. That's essentially what this is. Um, so it gives you the option to be able to, use it as silos. I think it's fantastic all in all, and yeah, I install it 100%.
Yeah, I got it on my PC, but not my Xbox. Next one is gonna be Machine Hall. This is by DDIC96. This would be 8.62 megabytes to download. You do have there's different kinds. So you got one with concrete walls, 60 by 30, which is $125,000. You got a hall with one door, which is 60 by 30. It's gonna be $119,000. Then a hall with two doors, exact same dimensions, 60 by 30. It's gonna be 122,000.
So all in all, 9 megabytes to install is not that bad for, yeah, I mean, very cavernous buildings. It's very, very large, these buildings. It's not a style that I'm generally liking per se. It's definitely got that kind of European kind of Dutch style. That's going to be very hyper specific on, a certain map. But all in all, I don't think that the megabyte is that bad. The purchasing price isn't that bad either. This is definitely something that if you're playing on a kind of European style map, that this would definitely be one to consider. Um, as I'm not playing on one where this would really kind of fit in at the moment, I would not install this, but I would definitely look to it if and when I move on to a different style of map.
Right. Right. So your next one is going to be Old Cowshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. It's going to be 25.24 megabytes to download. Holds 35 cows. Price tag is $70,000.
So for 26 megabytes to install, that's a lot. That is a lot to install, but it's a nice looking model. Um, I like the brickwork. I like the kind of the multiple brick tones that you can have on this as well. Um, I don't necessarily like that I can't see inside the building
Right.
from the screenshots, but I mean that's whatever. That is what it is. That's a personal hang up for me. 70,000 to buy, but 26 megabytes to install. I just again, I was just saying how the kind of hyper specific look of the buildings. This
Yeah.
definitely looks like the European Dutch model. Um, so for the same reasons I said before, plus the file size for this one, I would be a skip on this one.
Right. Right. Oh, I did too.
So I see the cow barn says it holds like 35 cows too.
Yeah.
Base game without
Yep.
fence. You definitely have to expand the fence for that one for sure. Because that's not very many cows.
Well, for the
No, not at all.
for the old cow shed, you can't. So, which stinks. But next one is gonna be the wooden shed. This is by MA7 Studio. It's gonna be 16.98 megabytes to download. Your price tag of $32,000. And you can actually like remove the back wall, put it back up. You can in like this area where you can put a vehicle or dump grain or whatever. You can get rid of those walls or put them back. It's actually kind of interesting.
So copy and paste everything I said about the previous MA7 Studio mod and apply it to this. I think it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. But again, for 17 megabytes to install, it's just that's really an up there file size for a shed for me personally. So although it
Yeah.
looks fantastic, and I think this would fit very perfectly on a European map, specifically like a Pelinier or something, um, I would install it until I started playing on a different style of map, and then I would consider from there.
Right, right. So your next one is gonna be the Wheelie Great Workshop. This is by Biggins. This is gonna be a 5.85 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $5,300, and you can go inside this too, which is awesome.
So I do like this one. I do like this one for 6 megabytes to install for $5,300. You have yourself a little workshop. It's very highly detailed. I like that it's kind of built into this little shipping container. That's certainly unique, and you're able to go inside, so it's better than some houses that we come across.
Right.
Um, so one of those where, yeah, I would install this.
Oh yeah. I have it on my PC. So, next one is gonna be. It's gonna be the. How did you pronounce this in your map tour?
Riso, Riso.
The Risu Forest. It's gonna be
Yeah, I think
380.
it's Riso.
Okay, it's gonna be 383.31 megabytes to download.
So this particular map, I really like this map. I really do. It's a basic forestry map, but there's a lot going on in it that kind of separates it from most forestry maps. It's got several fields on it, which kind of sets it apart from a forestry map. But for the most part, it is forestry. It's got a very basic kind of starting farm, so it's not something that you're gonna go out and really uh, like start out strong. You're going to want to expand very quickly. and it's got certain features on it, like breakable rocks, not contract rocks, but breakable just stones that are out in the middle of the fields.
Oh,
Now, the only bad thing about this particular map that I kind of came across is a lot of decorations that I have yet to be able to figure out a way to actually remove them, like stumps and like tree logs and stuff like that. So if there's a way to remove them, I just haven't discovered yet, and I haven't spent that much time trying to figure out how to remove them, then yeah, absolutely love it. I still do love this map. I think it's got beautiful scenery, nice undulations. The color palette's really sharp. All in all, I would definitely recommend this map to somebody who's into more of a forestry mindset.
uh,
But if you're not into forestry, then this map's probably not going to be up for you, kind of thing. So, all
right,
in all, yeah, I like it. It looks good. Give it a check if you're into forestry.
right.
How many megabytes do you say it was?
Like 300 and change, 383. So it's pretty high up there.
That's a
I've yet
lot.
to figure out why it's so high, but I mean, there are definitely some unique models and buildings that are in it.
Well, it's better than Silver Run with like
Yeah,
2000
it's
something though for a
It's
forestry map.
definitely it's
1.1,
definitely not
1.3.
1.3.
Let's see here. The next one's gonna be the Man TGX 18.500 4x2. This is by Kazdan 18. It'll be 43 megabytes. Price tag is $120,000. Horsepower is 500.
No.
Yeah, I would second that.
Yeah,
43 megabytes for a semi truck is very expensive for the file size.
It's a semi truck.
120. Yeah, yeah, for
And it's a European semi truck at that, so definite no.
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you figure looking at the comparables here, let's see. 500 horsepower for 120 grand. Probably closest thing we have base game would be probably the electric version of the Volvo. That's 145,000. It's got roughly around the same power, but one's electric, one's diesel.
Me.
I mean, all in all, it's about a push for the most part when it comes to the pricing, when taking the account of it being electric versus diesel. Um, yeah, just that 43 megabytes to install, I can't get my hand around that one. So, no, that one I would skip.
Yep, me too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
this Volvo, the one that I like using, this Volvo VX 300, 500 horse, 170,000, give or
Yep.
take.
Yeah, it's a
150
149.5.
base with no extras. Yeah,
let's see.
that's
Yeah.
probably my favorite. What I use the most was the Goethe. Awesome looking truck.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So the next one is gonna be the Lemkin Vario Pack 110. This is by Nico Pixes. It's gonna be 4.86 megabytes to download.
So less than 5 megabytes to install, and you have various working widths of 4 to 6 meters, 30 to 50 horsepower requirement, and up to 20 grand to purchase. About the closest thing we've got. Let's use. We'll go with the larger end because we do have a large scale. The closest comparable for that is the Vaderstat Carrier XL625. That is 6.3 meters and $75,000 to purchase. The top end of the scale on this one for price is 20,490. So significantly cheaper. It's almost as big of a working width. The power requirement for the Vaderstat is 260. This one is 50. So
Right.
this one all day, all night, I would install this. Absolutely.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Pavelli Rat Pack. This is by DD Mod Passion. It's 11.99
There's
megabytes.
rats in farm sim now.
It's going to be 11.99 megabytes to download. Price tag of $30,000. Now if it's 180 centimeter round bales, it could hold 38. If it's 150, 42. If it's 100, I mean, 100. If it's 1.25 meters, then it's 52. It can hold up to 52 round bales. And this is auto load.
I love it.
No go.
Absolutely love it. 12 megabytes to install. It's only 30 grand to purchase, so it's cheap. It's not that big of a file size, and you can have up to 52 bales of round, or 32 squares, or 24 of the big squares. So I mean, what's to lose on this? Auto load, absolutely love it. And it's just a unique looking model. I love how it's got these little like runner cables along the side of it that are functional. They will fold away. They will kind of, be there if you want them to.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you get different attacher types, different wheel types, auto load, manual versus regular. You can have different styles of trailers. Like you can have it branded for Case, Kloss, Deutz-Fahr, Fendt, JCB, John Deere, Kubota, Landini, Massey Ferguson, McCormick, New Holland, Steyr, Valtra, Zador. I mean, the possibility, like if you wanted to match a brand, then you can. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's one of those. I love it. I think it's going to be. It's worth the 12 megabytes to install, and having the large capacities to it. Fantastic. Absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, 100%. The next one is going to be the Farson PF 1.13. This is by Proximum. This is going to be 1.93 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $30,000. Required horsepower is 60. Capacity is 13,000.
So this one here for less than 2 megabytes to install. This is basically going to compete with the K brand RA142. That has a capacity of 11,900 liters. This one has a capacity of 13,000. So the mod here is a bit bigger than the K brand. But the K brand is 38,500. This is 30,000. So you get more capacity for less price. That's awesome. 2 megabytes to install. That's not a big deal. 60 horsepower for the mod versus 90 required for the K brand. So less horsepower, less money, more capacity. Install it all day, all night.
And it's not very much to install.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
So definitely better for a console.
I have that installed. Absolutely love it. Next one is gonna be the Lizard N012. This is by Zimov. I think that's pronounced it. It's gonna be 4.38 megabytes to download. Price tag of $790. Working with is 10 meters. And you have two different capacities, which this does lime and fertilizer, and it will spread at the exact same working width for both.
So for
Nice.
5 megabytes to install, the capacity is, did it say capacity? 250, yeah, 253. So I mean, it's almost in line with the Selac RZK 300H. Selac has 300 liters. This one has 253. It looks like you can configure it to 326. So one of those, it's right in line. Now price, that's the big difference here. The Selac base game is 2,000. This is 790. So you're saving about half again the price, and the working width is the only other big difference. The Selac is 14 meters. This is 10 meters, but as Will said, this one does lime and fertilizer and does it to the same widths. The Selac only does fertilizer.
Right.
So if you're looking for a small fertilizer spreader, I would definitely install this.
That's fairly cheap. That's cheap.
Right.
You sell a pile of eggs and you get one of those pretty much.
Exactly.
So your next one is going to be the Old Cowshed. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. This is going to be 6.48 megabytes to download. Now, that's not bad. This is going to hold 40 cows and has a price tag of $50,000.
So 7 megabytes to install, 40 cows, 50,000. Not that bad. It's really not. Again, it's that same European style that's going to be hyper specific to a specific region in that country. So personally, I would not install this because of how hyper specific it is, and I don't think we even have a map that would be considered a Dutch map, which is, I believe, where this is supposed to like basically where it's supposed to hail from.
Right.
So one of those that me personally would not install because it's very hyper specific. Even though the file size is not bad, the price isn't bad, the cows aren't bad. None of this is bad. It's just not something that's going to fit anywhere right now.
Right. Right. No, I agree with that. Next one is gonna be a beehive with three large frames. This is by Doodoo RGM.
Now I know you're making fun.
I am not making fun of you. This right here is gonna be 6.33 megabytes to download. Price tag of $1,500.
I mean, 15 grand, three beehives, 7 megabytes. It's a good looking model. I do like it. Yeah, I would install this. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Next one's gonna be a house from the '70s. This is by Konzi. It's gonna be 12.80 megabytes to download. Price tag $50,000. And yes, you can go inside this house, but it's very plain.
Yeah, it's very small, very plain. I mean, 13 megabytes to install, 50 grand to buy. It's not that bad. It's really not. I mean, it's designed to be minimal kind of thing. So, one of those where I'm fine with it at the end of the day. I think this would be definitely one I would install.
Your next one is going to be the Crasher pack by DD Mob Passion. This is going to be 0.36 megabytes to download. Price tag of $4,500. You can either have it left, right, or a portable wash view.
So, less than, half a megabyte to install, $4,500. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm not too strong about this one in any direction. So, I'm going to say that this one's a push and go from there.
Now, do you want to talk about this, or do you want to finish up the mods then come back to this?
No, we can go ahead and talk about it. The next
Alright.
act.
So the next one on the list is going to be the first DLC for the first quarter for the year one season pass. This is the Nexac pack by Giant Software. It's got one machine, bunch of different attachments. I have watched so many reviews on this thing. I have heard very mixed things on this. I've heard it's fantastic for like huge maps, for like prairie farms, for like the
it's good on prairie farms.
like
I was using it on prairie farms today, and it's pretty fun on prairie farms.
like
It'll take a little bit to get used to, but
also on like four field stuff like that. But you're not going to use
Yeah.
this on like Riverbend, So
Yeah,
I'd
so
seen, who was it, Farmer Cop on Riverbend using it,
yeah,
and it looked like he was having a time and a half moving it.
this is one of those mods that, as we mentioned before, has a very specific purpose. You're right. Riverbend Springs would not be a good map for this. Something that's big, wide, and open. Now, the one thing that kind of bothers me about this is how it actually functions. And it's not anything bad about the actual model or anything like that.
right,
But what I'm saying is specifically like with planting, as a good example. So if we take a look at the machine itself, for those who haven't seen this mod in use, these front and rear wheels, the big ones there, what this will do is it'll drive down the road like this, just going straight across. And because of how large this thing is, it turns like a steamboat. Like it is just absolutely abysmal to turn this thing. But when you want it to actually function as a machine, as a planter, as a harvester, whatever, these wheels fold in this direction, so it will just start traveling in this kind of horizontal motion. Now the problem is that when you're planting using this, those wheels are on the outside of the planting area, which means you're going to have very large barren spots in your fields that are not going to have planting in them.
No.
And depending on how large your field is, that can be a big strip of land. I mean, these wheels are not small. That's going to take up a big strip right there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the way it is in real life. There's nothing to complain about in regards to the mod, the model, or anything like that. It's just the function of it that I have a concern about.
Right.
But that's a me thing, not a mod thing. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a bit expensive for everything said and done. You figured the tractor, quote unquote, itself is $700,000, almost is $660,000, and then all the individual components are more than 150 grand each. So I mean, it's one of those. It's a huge investment right off the bat. So it's not something you're gonna start out with on a average farm, and it's gonna be a very hyper specific use case scenario. Although I do like it, I'm glad that it's here. It's gonna be very, very difficult to work this in to like a natural setting.
Right. Right. I mean, for being like the very first DLC, it's not bad. And it's definitely a lot better than the Interior Carrero pack from FS22.
100%. 100%. No, this, like I said, this is going to be hyper specific, but I can absolutely see this being used, in those scenarios, to where like the Antonio Carrero, like you mentioned. I mean, unless you did grapes or olives, you're not using those ever,
Right.
ever. Because I mean, why are you going to buy a mini tractor that, I mean, with high torque? I mean, outside of grapes or olives, that's the only real reason that you're going to buy them. So, at the end of the day, no, I think that it definitely has a much bigger and more applicable use case scenario than the Antonio Carrero, and I think Giants did a great job with it. And I think that this is definitely a good pack to have. It's just there's going to be a lot of hurdles to be able to utilize it.
100%. All right, time to move on to the next one now. So that next one is gonna be the Duotsfar 6215 TTV. This is by Blua. This is gonna be 28.24 megabytes to download. And you do
So
have,
this one here just barely misses that 25 megabyte cutoff that I talk about. But it's a nice model. It's got, a couple of different options. I love the warrior look and the deep crimson or not deep crimson, deep green look that it has there, the almost black look. I mean, all in all, this just barely misses the mark for me.
Right.
So this one I would pass on, especially because I'm not a huge like diehard Deutschfar fan.
yeah.
If I was, then I would,
Yeah.
potentially, weasel this in there. But for 28, 29 almost megabytes to install, I'm not tripping over trying to get this one in the game.
Right.
No go for you then?
No go for me.
I hear that.
Same here.
Let's
It's
see.
not a case or a John Deere or New Holland, so no go.
The next one is going to be the SIP Roto 220F. This is by Wolfex Modding. This is going to be 7.14 megabytes to download. Price tag of $3,900. Your required horsepower is 60. Working with is 2.20 meters. So 2.2.
So for 8 megabytes to install this one, that's a bit high for just a front deck mower. I mean, right off the bat, it's not huge, but that is a bit high for what you're getting there. Now, where this one kind of makes up for it is everything else. So, closest in game, uh, closest base game one is the K-Brand GMD 3123F. That costs 13,500. This is $3,900, so it's almost 10 grand cheaper. The working width on the K-Brand is 3.1. This is 2.2, so it's a little bit smaller, about less than a meter smaller.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not that bad, and it's the same horsepower, 60 horsepower for each. So, I mean, is it going to be worth the almost 10 grand in savings for the 8 megabytes to install this?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna struggle to say yes, so I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be worth it.
Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Rudolph Wagler DK280RP. This is by Nikki Agrar. It's going to be 4.37 megabytes to download. You have a capacity of 18,500 liters, price tag of $32,500.
So 5 megabytes to install, not that bad. This one completely misses the mark for me right here. Capacity 18,005, price 32,500. You're talking almost $2,000 per 1,000 liters. Hard pass on that one.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Buyable Square Bales 120 by 70. This is by Herbie. It's going to be 0.95 megabytes to download. They're just different kind of square bales that you can buy.
Less than a megabyte
Don't
to
we already have a
install.
mod like that?
Yeah, we've got mods that are pretty
Viable.
close to this. I mean, less than a megabyte to install if you're looking for just a kind of different flavor of thing here. I mean, I don't have any of the capacities or anything that these bales hold, but it's saying its hay bale is $975. Base game hay bale, which is 8,000 liters, is 1,536. So this is cheaper, but is it cheaper because it's smaller? That I don't know. Um, if I look at some of my other modded square bales for hay, Bible Bales Pack, that one there for the small one, the 1.8 meter is 2,992. And then going on even further to the liftable pallets. Here's one for this is okay. Okay, here we go. This one is the 180 centimeter bales for 1,250. That's the 6,000 liters. So again, this is just 975. This might be in line with everything that we have. So I don't know. It's I probably would skip this one because I feel like the liftable pallets and bales, as well as the buyable bales mod, kind of has that covered, and it comes with round and square bales as opposed to this one's just square.
Right. Now, this next one, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I already know who's going to like this one. So this is the Selectable Bale Capacity Pack by GH66 Mods. It's going to be 27.12 megabytes to download. Yeah, it literally went through my head, and I'm like, oh, I think BDD's going to like this one.
Yes, but I didn't install it.
Oh.
I do like this in theory, but 28 megabytes to install. I do like that Gaming Joy was willing to help out and give the wider pickup widths. That's awesome. And the extended capacities. Again, that's awesome. I just to have the extended pickup widths and the capacities. I don't know. Just I don't know. This one, I have a feeling there's going to be others that come down the road that are going to potentially fill in the gap here. So I kind of held off on this one, but if I'm wrong, I can have this as a backup in like my back pocket kind of thing.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Open Air Garden by Omatana. Absolutely love this mod. So we got 20.56 megabytes to download. There are multiple different gardens in here. Like you got ones that are highly detailed, like the third screenshot in, and then you got a massive one, like an absolutely massive one. And then you have a distributor.
Love this one in 22. I love this one in 25.
Oh
This
yeah,
is amazing. The only thing I'm disappointed about, the only thing. In 22 we could get cotton out of these. 25 we can't. So that's the only kind of taken away from this. Other than that, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can do all your base game, you know, garden crops, your cabbage, your Napa cabbage, your spring onions, garlic, so on and so forth, tomatoes, strawberries, lettuce, all that. But you can also do potatoes, sunflowers, carrots, parsnips, beetroots, peas, green beans, spinach, grapes, and olives. All of those in this for less than 21 megabytes to install. Install this one all day, all night,
oh yeah,
because if you don't want to deal with grapes or olives, that number one right there is huge. Um, you can increase your output by putting in additional inputs, like your seeds, your fertilizer, and manures kind of thing, or you can just do your waters like base game.
right.
So, and I love that in the wintertime, it gets these kind of covered greenhouses. I think that's just a brilliant idea. So yeah, all in all, love this mod, love this model. Omatana did a fantastic job. Um, yeah,
Oh yeah,
install all day, all night.
100%. Next one is gonna be the Lizard Silos by the Lord. I'm pretty sure that these are from FS19.
Correct.
So we have 4.54 megabytes to download. So, I mean, you basically have the silo, small silo, large silo, and extensions. So,
I mean, 5 megabytes to install, and you get several different silos. They all look nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I would install this.
oh, I installed this one right here. Bridge Pack by Biggins. Absolutely love this pack.
Same
4.76,
here.
4.76 megabytes to download. $100
Yeah. Yep.
price
Yep.
tag.
I mean, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 5 megabytes to install, $100 to put them down. I mean, what's not like about this? You got several different models. You got several of them with lights as a kind of ambiance kind of thing. It's fantastic. You got the covered bridge. You've got the kind of ones with looks to be kind of railings and fences and stuff like that. You got one with the metal railings. Yeah, you got some with no railings. So if you're not paying attention, you're going to go into the water regardless of whether you have the bridge or not. So all in all, love it. Really, really love it. I think this is a brilliant mod to come out. I wish the only thing that I wish was available with this is the ability to adjust the lengths. I wish that was the thing. Because there's several models in here that I do like, but they're fixed in their widths or
Right.
their lengths. So it's one that you can only use in certain gaps.
Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Small Buildings Package. This is by Barty. This is going to be 38.62 megabytes to download. I personally passed on this.
Yeah, kind of same here. Almost 40 megabytes to install, and it's, buildings and animal pastures and stuff like that. Uh, I mean, the models, they look fine. They look really, really good. I like the kind of multi-brick exposure look to them. Kind of the old weathered buildings and stuff like that. It looks really sharp, but 40 megabytes, there's nothing in here that I've gotta have kind of thing.
Right, right. 100%. So your next one is going to be Slurry Selling Station. This is by E.R. Shaba. This is going to be 0.42 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $6,000.
So this one, I like it. I really do. Less than a half a megabyte to install, 6 grand to place. If you want a place to sell digestate in slurry, and you want it to sell it at a sort of elevated cost, then yeah, it's fantastic. I think that this is really good. It reminds me a lot of, I think it's Missy B. I think it's Missy B. Uh, Back in 22 had a model, not the same model, but the same kind of idea behind this one. But I like the model that's being used here better than the other one. The other one is like a huge selling point. It's really expensive. This one's cheaper. It's more kind of simple, kind of baseline kind of thing. Um, yeah, I like it. I like it.
Just let you know. So we got 8 more mods to go. And then we'll be done. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to the news. Which is a bit unfortunate. But
Well, real quick,
Yeah, it's
let me.
only 9 o'clock.
You live in the past.
yeah.
Nah.
So just real quick, let me catch up with the chat here. We got Ken says that evolution baler spits out bales a lot quicker than base game balers. LOL. Oh yeah. And then, which makes sense considering that you got the wider pickup widths and all that. Ken says in New Zealand we call those a carry-all. LOL. Yeah, so he's referring to the front 3-point link little carrier.
Yeah.
And then Fearsome Rhino says, I wish it had the US version. That would be nice." And I believe that's in regards to the
Next segment.
yes, I believe that was what I was referring to. And that's it.
What up there, Nate? How's it going?
Let's see here. Next one is me the Frankenmuth farming map from Taylor Farms update. So this will be 349.91 megabytes to download. This will be version 1.2. Important to note, new save not required, which is fantastic. I'm not gonna read this off, but basically, fix the alfalfa hay bales, so now you can use them in TMR. Added drain tiles to fields, and they will have water flow in the spring and autumn seasons, which I think is fantastic. So
Thanks.
yeah, there's a whole bunch more that he fixed on this map.
So the one thing that I personally want to point out about this one that I'm actually very happy about is you can now sell tar dirt for a very small profit to the farmers market. I personally love that. I love it. And here's why. I felt like the sugar beet pilers were, without trying to sound too mean, pointless. And again, I'm not meaning to come off really harsh about this, but the sugar beet pilers, all it did was you put in your sugar beets in, you got your sugar beets out, and the only thing that you got from it was that tar dirt. Now it was supposed to be something that kind of represented a real life scenario, right? You would take the dirt, you go put it back into your fields and kind of go from there. Because when you get these crops out of the ground, they're going to be coated in tons and tons and tons of dirt, and you put them through these machines in order to get the dirt back out. But the more and more you harvest, the more dirt is coming out. If you're not putting the dirt back, well, then you're basically going to be digging a hole in the ground, at the end of the day. So that's the whole point of this pack. But in the game itself, it just, I don't know, it always kind of left me longing as to not want to buy that particular mod or that particular production point, because the only thing you're getting out of it is your sugar beets back and the dirt, kind of thing. So it was just one of those where it really didn't serve a practical purpose to purchase, because you could just avoid it altogether, kind of thing.
But no,
So now there's a point to purchase it outside of the realism factor to where you could still, put it back in to the ground and make it disappear and all that stuff, or you can take it to sell for, pennies on the dollar, but you can still do something outside of the realism factor.
Right, right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Lipinky. This is by Greenack and Favory. I don't know how to pronounce that. To be 238.45 megabytes to download. So I'm not going to read this out, but I know added alfalfa. And just some bugs and fixes and some adjustments to it.
So it's nice to see they added alfalfa. That's really awesome. Um, yeah, a few fixes here and there. It's a nice map. I do like this one. It's a bit on the smaller side. But all in all, good. It's solid. The only thing I will say that's kind of a negative that kind of drives me up a wall is the main starting farm. The main starting farm about this map really drives me up a wall, and that's because if you look right here where my mouse is, uh, there's a pond area that's right in front of your farm. You do not own it, and you can't buy the land.
Oh, that's stupid.
So it's right there next to your farm.
That is stupid.
And yeah, it's one of those that always drove me nuts. That when I did the map tours and all that, that's the first thing I noticed is that there's a big buyable area, not even big, but there's a buyable area or a non-buyable area right in front of your farm, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But that's kind of one that I wanted to
Oh yeah.
point out.
Nothing can really do about it though.
Yep.
Next one would be the Crampy Big Body 650. This is by Julie 7250 and Chris. It's gonna be 12.81
Chris?
megabytes. Yeah. Okay, so that's a running joke because Bree and I have a friend named Chris, and so our other friend James, every time he'd see Chris, he'd walk by and be like, "Chris," and he'd like raise his hands up. So now every time we see him, we're like, "There's Chris." This would be 12.81 megabytes to download. It is changed on 1.1.0.0. This is small enough I could read it. Added configuration for additional rear lights and fixed unloading by the helper onto the tipper.
So this mod I'm not terribly impressed with. It already doesn't meet the 1,000 liters per $1,000 per 1,000 liter threshold. That already, kind of throws it out the window for me. But it's also 13 megabytes, which is, I think, personally a bit high for a trailer. Yeah, all in all, this one would be one I'd skip.
Oh yeah. Next one is with the Fliegel TMK 273 by G Master. This is going to be 11.10 megabytes to download. And for some odd reason, it's popping up as an update, but it's still version 1. So I don't know what's going on with this.
Weird. So again, 12 megabytes to install it. That seems like a bit much for just a trailer, but $45,000 to buy, 40,000 liter capacity. It's over that $1,000 threshold per 1,000 liters. Again, I'd skip it.
Oh, yeah. Next one is going to be the Dusseldorf. No, I'm not making fun of you.
I told you we were going to get a complex.
MSS3X. That's either 00 or 00. This is by Grobflecken Design, Simon.
Oh, now I know you're making fun of me.
Oh, I'm not making fun of you at all. This is going to be 14.88 megabytes to download. This is version changelog 1.0.0.1. Incorrectly positioned decal on MSS 3700 corrected, and mod description version increased.
let me get this straight. You use a word like globe flecking, and you expect me not to think that you're not making fun?
Right.
Anyways, 15 megabytes for
Next.
some silage equipment
Yeah.
for levelers.
Pass.
I mean, me personally, pass. Yeah.
Next one's going to be Front Cultivator. This is by DMI Jorn Profit.
Yon Profit.
Yeah. This is
Oof.
3.99 megabytes. You can't just put it as 4 megabytes. This is going to be changelog 1.0.0.1. Fixed cache shader issue console. Raise mod description version.
I like it. I like this mod. 4 megabytes to install, 17 grand to buy. It's not that much for the install, not that expensive. Yeah, 4.5 meters to work with. It's good. I like it.
Wow. Next one's going to be Cone. Cone! This is by FA. This is going to be 0.45 megabytes to download, and you have changed 1.1.0.0. Added another traffic cone, like we needed more. Added.
It's like cowbell. You can never get enough.
Yeah, right. Added configurable flashing lights, orange and
Always
blue.
need more cowbell.
Updated mod
Ling,
description
ling, ling,
version,
ling, ling.
and further bug fixes improvements. Yeah, see, I like that. The flashing lights, though, I think that's kind of neat.
I mean, me. That's about where I'm at on this one. Me. I mean, half a megabyte. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day, if you're wanting kind of a, you know, a role playing kind of decoration kind of thing, then yeah, okay, fine. Not one that I would install personally because meh.
Oh yeah. No, I agree 100%. And the very last one is going to be a concrete ring pack. This is by Weekend Farmers. Yeah, 5.65 megabytes to download. It's going to be changed on 1.0.0.1. Fix warning that occurred when reloading the save game.
Uh-oh.
So, that's it. That was
Yeah.
it.
I mean, 6 megabytes to install a ring, to make your trees look fancy. Again,
Not worth it.
meh.
So, I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, there wasn't really that much news to really go over. It was just basically just a couple of things got sent in. Custom modding was nice enough to post this on the 13th. For newly submitted mods, 16 work days. For submitted mod updates, 12 work days. For failed and resubmitted mods, 5 work days. That's nice. And,
For sure.
He did send a ticket in to the Mod Hub team, and they, starting as of today, our time, not Mr. It's 9:00. As of today, they actually are going to start testing this 4940 self-propelled sprayer.
Nice.
And as far as I'm aware, they're also getting 82 Studios stuff finally in testing. So,
Oh, I really hope we
Nice.
get some, like the global transport pallets or whatever they're called. I forget what they're called.
oh yeah,
That's
I want
again,
Trucker
that's
Matsy's map.
who's what?
Trucker Matsy's map.
Trucker Matsy's map.
Gotcha.
Wasaka County.
Mm-hmm,
It's based out of where he lives.
Alright, just
Well, he can tell you about it.
Oh, I don't even follow trucker biases. I have no idea.
Uh,
The just to go over this news like real
well,
quickly.
you,
Yeah, yo, whiskey. I'm gonna be going over this news like real quickly because I do have to hop off here
yeah,
shortly.
yep,
So there's the
yep.
news from Ross and Mods, basically just bringing over his forage harvester. Um, what's the word I'm thinking about? The hitch, so you can hook up different trailers and they can adjust. Pascal Kultz did say the June Heinrich ERE 120 has been converted and sent to Giants, which is like electric pallet fork. So I posted that there today. Those are new mods. From Rooster Mods, did say in-game reveal, basically just showing off their John Deere weeder, which has not been sent off yet. So still waiting to hear back from that. Then of course, new news from Star Spangled Mods, which I did find out through BDD that I will be getting a first look
Nice.
on his New York map. So I will be doing a live stream for that.
Can't wait.
And then JHE Modding basically just states that that their Rolex, which I'm telling you, they stole that name from the watch company.
Or it is a watch company and they just moved into agriculture.
Right. Then why is it made of gold? No, the basically it states that it's in game and functional. That's all what that is. This person just said they just updated their storage, which that came out today or yesterday. From Patty Fan Modding. Yo, that is a nice shed though. So finally, shed in testing. So that's in testing. So hopefully that will come out here shortly. I'm very excited for that. And then Pascal Kultz came out and stated vehicle workshop has been sent to Giants. So it's been a conversion. Custom Modding is making a Landau Ripper, like a plow, which I'm very excited for. Let's go see. Hispano Modding just posted everything that is pending or in testing. So like the Canervan Turbo 8000T, that's in testing. The Agribusniess Multi-Plow that came out. The Anderson Group that came out. And the low loader Gale trailer. It says testing completed, so we'll see if that comes out or not. Posted that from Marcel. That was just the updates, new mods. Yeah, and then as of March 10th, which is Monday, patch 1 came out for FarmSim VR. And that's it. That's literally all the news. So, like I said, well, it wasn't very much news, but I just wanted to go over it real quickly, though.
Ooh, I don't know about you. I looked at my watch before we started, and it's several hours later. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh no, wait, time didn't fly. We did.
Time went.
So, now,
Well, it's a lot better than some nights.
This might seem horrible for me saying this, and I don't want to seem like a horrible person. I hope that we get mods, but we don't get that many mods because then I won't have to like fly through the news like that. But yeah, on the other hand, it's like give me all the mods,
Oh, it's so funny how there are certain times where it's like, man, I really hope we get some mods, or I hope we get some maps, and there's other times like, please no.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
About midweek, you go, no, we've had enough mods already.
well,
I don't want to do a midweek mod update,
and also a huge shout out to Whiskey for messaging me. I mean, I knew updates came out, but they were for PC Mac only. And then I got a message from Whiskey saying that there was a bunch of updates. So I went on there and yeah. So yeah, there
Man,
was,
because I get them on my Discord there.
yeah,
I get the updates to my Discord, and boom, to boom, to boom. I was going, how many are we having?
right.
I think I heard somebody say like 72 to 75 updates
Wow.
today.
I counted about
Yeah,
57, I think. So,
somewhere around in
Yeah,
there.
that's nuts.
so
In other words, a
So
lot.
some poor soul over there in Germany at Giants is like, I am here on the weekends and you all are having me put out mods on a Sunday. How dare you? What you know what they use
It would be
that
Monday then.
global flocking. That's what they were saying. Globe
It'd be
flocking.
like Monday,
How
Sunday night.
dare you globe flocking?
well,
It'd be like Sunday night because they're 8 hours ahead of me.
well.
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
least in England they are.
See
And
here's
Germany's a few hours ahead of that.
see here,
So they're
here
like 10 hours ahead of us.
see here's the thing. I personally think that someone was in Giants doing this. Some people were because they have so many mods that they have to be tested and they're behind.
Sure, sure.
That I think now that they're either they worked on Saturday and posted these for today, or someone was actually in the office today. Because there's no way
Yeah.
that many updates would have been tested on Friday and scheduled for today.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, yeah.
I've heard people complaining too a lot about Giants is taking forever, you know.
yeah, I
Or we
don't
make
want
our own
I
game where we have
whiskey
our own testers, you know.
whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that because I already got into a massive argument with someone over this already. Because
Okay.
it is a nightmare and a half. And I basically
Yeah.
I backed Giant Software up, and I was like, listen, like they have over 2,000 mods, maybe a little bit less than that, sitting waiting to be tested right now. Like there are still
Yeah.
mods sitting from December still waiting to be tested. So, because
Yeah.
they got a lot going on. So, and I okay, BD, you know who Roughneck Modding is, right?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I should say I know of them. I don't know them personally.
I um I tore him a new one in his comment section because he kept on complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining about Giants, and he goes, "This is why this is why I should have stuck with PC only and not going to console." And I basically told him to shut up in like
Oof.
so many words. And I was like, dude, listen, if you don't want a mod for console players, go back to PC because I'm getting tired of hearing this. Like Giants are busy, like they don't work for you. You know, they got other mods that have to be tested and everything else. So, I mean, just be patient. I haven't heard anything from them. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where I can understand where the frustration's coming from, but at the same time, it's one of those where I don't know. There's a fine line between both ends of the position, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's just one of those where, I'm just thankful that there's modders out there that are willing to put in the extra effort to go to consoles, because obviously I'm on console.
Yeah.
So I appreciate, the extra effort. I wish that it was a bit easier on them. I wish it wasn't, as much of a headache, to put out mods for all platforms and all that stuff. But, you know, from at least one console player out to all the modders out there, thank you for all the extra effort that you put in. Thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, like I said, there's certainly a fine line. There's certainly a fine line, and I can see where everybody's coming from all perspectives.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, no, 100%. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end. I'm gonna end. I don't know. I don't know if BD's gonna continue streaming over on his end, but on my end, I'm gonna be cutting loose. I have to go to bed. I had to be at work by 7:45 in the morning.
Oof.
So
Oof.
but I get out at 4:15, thankfully. So, but if you guys haven't yet, if you want to stay updated to new mods, news, anything, make sure you go follow me on Facebook over at Wilty Gaming Encyclopedia. I post everything over there. That's and either I'm the first person to post it, or I'll get a message from BDD saying, "Hey, did you see this?" And also, if you haven't yet, make sure you please smash the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified whenever I go live or post a video. Also, make sure you hit the like button, share as well. Also, stay tuned because I'm still waiting to hear back from Star Spangled Mods. But I will be doing a first look on his New York map. And
Can't wait.
and from what I was talking real quick before I hop off, I was talking with Celebuki and Elma's already in testing. So
Ooh, boy.
Nice.
crossing fingers here. So we'll see. Once
Can't
that
wait.
once
That's
that
gonna be a fun map.
once that does get released, I will have a dedicated server popped up on there for people. So
Sweet. I think about getting
Beauty.
one server too. I just don't have a PC. Probably get something running off of it though.
all right,
For a
guys.
server.
Well, I hope all you guys take care. Stay safe. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hi, boss. You take care. I'm going to be on for a little while longer, so I will catch you later.
All right, man. Sounds good. See ya. See ya.